All right. Hello and welcome. We're back with more. So let's get going. So let's see. What do we got? April 6th, 4:51 p.m. Big building, empty lot. All right. Sean. He was my dad? Oh, that's right. So the last thing Sean figured out was that his dad was the president of Zhengfa, and his dad is dead. Alright. It can't have been easy, learning the truth about his father's identity so unexpectedly. A lot of fathers, a lot of fathering going on in this game, I've noticed. That seems like there's a throughput theme about whether or not you're going to follow in your father's footsteps or not. It's interesting stuff. And too late to ever get to know him. You know how hard I tried to find him? Sean, I get it! He was the president. He had a lot more to think about than just me. But he was right there in front of me. Right there on the set. So why? Why didn't he just say something? Why didn't he tell me who he was? I'm sorry, Sean. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault, Mom. It's mine. If I hadn't broken my promise to you, that fire would have never happened, and he wouldn't have... I've ruined everything. Everything! It's all my fault! I even ruined your flowers! Sean, please, you mustn't blame yourself. Just try to be here with me. Just for a little while. It's nice to see the very human side of Gavel when she's been so, like, cold and logical this entire game, and now we get to see her motherly side come out. It's nice.
The bond between parent and child, as symbolized by the lion lily. I'm no expert, but it's native to Zhengfa, so I know that much at least.
Sadly, we don't have the luxury of dwelling on such things just now. I know it might seem insensitive, Agent Long, but sentimentality won't help us here. We need to focus on what we can do about the case before us.
You're right.
I believe we've learned all we need to about what happened back then for now. How did it all line up with your father's theories about the case?
I wouldn't know. He took those to the grave with him. He never shared his thoughts with anybody. There's no way of knowing now what he figured out.
What about your own thoughts? Are you feeling any more positive in light of what we learned from Kay's reconstruction? Are we any closer to learning what really happened 12 years ago? I'm still calling that Gusto's kid is going to be brought into this.
You know, I think we might be. My father's footsteps are starting to become clear. Now all we need to do is follow them. All the way to the truth.
This is a cooperative rebuttal. The real story of the SS5 incident. Okay.
The president went to the orphanage that night, that much we know for sure. The Taurosaurus toy proves it. He must have gone there to meet with Amelie Fen. Except he was kidnapped, and Aldown happened to see it. If Aldown hadn't been there, there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. Instead, they had to move his body to the planters and stage that photo to throw everybody off the scent.
So that's our current theory, is it? SS5 incident case file data updated in my organizer. Okay.
But there's something I still don't understand.
There is.
This. Why risk staging the picture? They would have had to force the president to play along. What if he hadn't?
What if he was in on it? Like I said before, this is a man who staged his own assassination attempt at the beginning of the game. So I have a feeling he would not be above staging his own kidnapping at some point, too. Long seems to be in denial about that fact, though. It's a good question, and we may be closer to discovering the answer than we think. We'll just have to get there one deduction at a time.
Yeah, I guess we will. Alright, deduce away.
The real story of the SS5 incident. Alright. Long is definitely on my list of characters I would like to see come back if we get another Ace Attorney game. Alright, let's press first here. Nothing should be taken for granted at this stage. We need to treat even the seemingly certain with caution. Can we really be sure that the president went to the orphanage?
I get it. You want evidence?
This is a nice change of pace from people asking you to show them proof, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, it really is. There's no need to actually say it out loud, Kay. Oh, he's enjoying it. The Torosaurus toy proves it. He must have gone there to meet with Amelie Fenn. Alright, let's see what that says. The plushie, it has a recording device concealed inside it, correct?
It does, and it was used by Sean's mother, Amelie,
to record a message asking the president to meet her at the orphanage at midnight. Whoa! You're finishing each other's sentences now? What a team! You two will peel away the layers of the truth like an onion, I'm sure of it. You do realize that there's nothing underneath all the layers of an onion, don't you, okay? Could you try to say something a little less unfortunate sounding? Wow. Way to rules lawyer, autist her reasoning there, Edgeworth. You two will peel away the layers of the truth like the skin of a wolf. I'm sure of it.
He said less unfortunate sounding. Shall I continue?
Don't peel the wolf. The wolf's right in front of you. Except he was kidnapped and Aldown happened to see it. Okay? Could we go over the details once again? So, Mr. Aldown saw the president being kidnapped from right by the orphanage. And he was standing next to the snowman.
The murderer crept up behind him, grabbed a brick, and... Oh! He...
Calm down, Kay. We're simply verifying our understanding of events. That just required Long to howl like a wolf, okay? It just happens. Yeah, well, that little outburst just blew my understanding out of my ears. I know we have to go over all this again, but can we do it less dramatically? Oh, you're in the wrong series for that.
Really? Fine. I'm happy to keep answering if you're happy to keep asking.
If Aldown hadn't been there, there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. If Mr. Aldown hadn't been there, huh? That's an interesting suggestion. Care to explain?
There's not a whole lot to explain. He saw the kidnapping, so he was murdered. If he hadn't been there, maybe the kidnapping could have happened without any blood being spilled.
But could it? No, I don't think so. I think the whole idea of it was a staged kidnapping, and the picture was part of it. He makes it sound as if it was Mr. Aldown's fault he was murdered. That's not what Agent Long is saying, Kay. What he means is that Mr. Aldown was the only person who died at the orphanage that night. Well, of course he was. They kidnapped the president and everything. But the ransom was paid and he came home safely, right? She's right, of course, but why does something bother me about that? I think it might be worth taking another look over all the evidence.
Finished discussing things with your assistant, Mr. Prosecutor? Let's continue, shall we?
Indeed, it said they had to move his body to the planters and stage that photo to throw everybody off the set. Alright, so I kind of feel like we have a suggestion on this one. If Aldown hadn't been there, there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. We'll come back to that in a second, but I'm going to go ahead and look at this. This is another very important part of our current theory. Shall we go over all the details again?
Sure, probably a good idea. Alright, first, what did Aldown see? He saw the president being kidnapped from right in front of the building.
But the kidnappers were keen to avoid any suggestion that they might be connected with the orphanage.
Yep, so they replaced the film in Aldown's camera and staged a photograph of the kidnapping occurring further away from the building.
Indeed. And then they moved Mr. Aldown's body to a location consistent with what that picture showed.
Urgh. The secrets buried underneath the snow 12 years ago are finally coming to light.
And we're sure that's really what happened that night? What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? I get the sense we're still not seeing everything. That there's something else at play behind it all. There is? But what? There's a piece of evidence we've discovered that Agent Long's theory can't explain. We have to present him with it and develop our thinking further. Alright. Okay, interesting. So, there's a piece of evidence we've discovered that Agent Long's theory can't explain. Okay, so let's go here, and let's go through the evidence. Alright. The child's drawing. Is it the fact that the drawing has guy with knife who looks a heck of a lot like, shoot, what's his non-fan translation name again? Body Harma. Body Harma. I was about to call him Sirhan Dogan, which is his fan translation name. But yeah, I think it's him, right? In this? So the child's drawing seems to be the problem here, because in this, it's a guy with a gun. In this, it's a guy with a knife, and the president is holding the Torosaurus, and there's the dog too. Yeah, I think it's this. It is not that. Never mind. I'm sorry, Agent Long, but there's a clear contradiction in what you're saying.
Longzi says, doubt first the man who makes a statement without proof. But I don't think I'm even going to go as far as to doubt what you just said. I'll just ignore it, because it was clearly a total bluff. Could I really have been wrong?
You can't bluster your way past Agent Long, Mr. Edgeworth.
You're right. I'll need to confront him head-on if I'm going to get anywhere here.
Let's see. There wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. Instead, they had to move his body to the planters and stage that photo for everybody off the scent. So, the victim's shoes. Not actually Aldown's shoes. They appear to have been placed on his feet by the culprit after the murder took place. We had the bloody button. The blood is his, so he got that off of the snowman. So that was part of the staging. Mr. Aldown's final call. The mysterious bloodstain. Left on the scene of the murder 12 years ago, the blood wasn't Aldown's. And then there's victim was struck on the head and died around 1 a.m. February 10th, 12 years ago. The fire that was set as a prank during the evening before the incident. Right, I got that one. Hang on, let's look. We did have some updates on the SS5 incident. So it occurred on February 10th, 12 years ago. President of Zhengfa was kidnapped and ransomed for $100 million. The president's presence at embassy until midnight was confirmed by Da Long Long. Prosecutor in charge was Excelsius Winner. Suspect was Fifi Lagarde because she was running the orphanage. Investigation notes. President Wang was supposed to meet Amelie Fen at the orphanage at midnight. Witness Al Faldown was murdered, his body moved, and a photograph of a kidnapping staged. So it was so they're saying it was a staged kidnapping, right? So, we gotta think about that one, too. Alpha murdered, the body kidnapped. Right. Alright, so I think... Alright, going back to what we have in evidence here, yeah? We have... The thing that stood out to me the most was either the victim's shoes or the mysterious bloodstain. And also, again, I feel like it was hinting that Statement 4 is the one that we need to present something on. If Aldan hadn't been there, there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. Okay, the thing about that, there wouldn't have been a murder. What about the mysterious bloodstain? That is a lot of blood, not Aldan's. I'm thinking if it's not this one, the fact that something weird happened here, it must have been this one. So let's give a present and see if that does it. It did! Maybe. You're saying there would have been no murder if Mr. Aldan hadn't witnessed the kidnapping. But is that really the case?
Why wouldn't it be? Their main aim was to abduct the president, right? So if there hadn't been a witness present, they wouldn't have needed to murder anybody.
And yet it remains possible that Mr. Aldan wasn't the only person killed that night. There was a large pool of blood between the planters, but Mr. Aldan was murdered over by the snowman. It can't have belonged to him. What if all that blood by the planters belonged to somebody else?
Come on, Mr. Prosecutor. You do realize what you're saying, don't you?
I do. It's hard to believe. I'll be the first to admit it. But it's what the evidence suggests. Not just one person was killed here 12 years ago, but two.
You're saying they covered up a whole separate murder? But whose? Who else was killed that night?
Whoever covered up this other homicide did so very skillfully indeed. They even seem to have been able to avoid it being mentioned in the files. But they didn't quite get rid of everything. We have a piece of evidence from 12 years ago that they never managed to erase. This clearly shows that something else happened that night. The one that his dad kept with him, right? Excelsius Winter tried to shroud the existence of the other murder in darkness. But there was one piece of evidence he wasn't able to suppress. Thanks to the efforts of your father, Agent Long.
My father?
Cast your mind back, if you will. Something else was hidden along with all the other evidence from the crime scene. The existence of the child who set the fire in front of the orphanage. But why would Chairman Winter wish to erase him from the record? Because he saw something he should not have. That's why. He did? What was it? It's right here in this picture.
The picture my father kept.
I think we can all agree that's the president on the right-hand side. And that's the Torosaurus toy in his hand. But who's that standing across from him? Body Harmacanus. Yeah, he's already in there. Eastern robes and a black dog. That can only be Badhiharma Canis. What? The creepy assassin guy? And what would a hired killer be doing in the presence of a president? I can think of only one thing. That's right. It wasn't a kidnapping that occurred here 12 years ago. It was an assassination. Oh! So, wait a minute. Oh man, this is crazy. So, the original president of Zhengfa was actually killed that night? And a new puppet president was put in place? Because, remember, they talked about all the body doubles that he had. And also, Long said that the president's personality changed quite significantly after a certain point. And he kind of kicked the Long family out. So I'm thinking, yeah. This game is among my faves, and I love seeing you deduct these things. Well, thank you. I love Investigations too. It's probably one of my favorite games in the whole series. So, my favorite is Great Ace Attorney duology beyond any of the other ones. But I do like this. I am a big fan of Investigations 2 as well. Spirit of Justice, surprisingly, also I really liked. All right, all right.
Yeah!
And Warden Lagarde and Chairman Winter were... Man, he's got crazy Junji Ito face here. Excelsius does. Yes, I think they were complicit. More than complicit, in fact. One provided the venue for the killing, and the other suppressed the testimony of the child who witnessed it. Oh, you're still making your way through the 3D games. Nice. Dual Destinies was okay. I generally liked it. Black Quill is actually a pretty cool prosecutor. Spirit of Justice actually surprised me about how much I liked that one. So I think you're in for some good stuff. Mr. Aldown was murdered because what he witnessed was actually an assassination, and not the kidnapping he thought it to be at all.
Do you think I'm an idiot? How could the president have died 12 years ago? We only found his body this morning. He was alive and well until just recently.
Yeah, we even met him. Indeed. So we have a president killed 12 years ago, and a president killed in the last 48 hours. 2 presidents, in other words. Metal Gear Solid, the 2 presidents. I always hear people crapping on Spirit. Really? That's surprising to me. I know Apollo Justice, like the character, is a little controversial among some fans. I like him. So I would imagine if you don't like Apollo a whole lot, the game would be rough because it's kind of like his entire backstory, but that, yeah, mileage could vary depending on how you feel about Apollo, I suppose. Right, which is completely impossible. Or is it? I think it's entirely possible for there to be 2 presidents. In fact, that would explain a lot.
But regardless of what happened, I still respected him. Jingfa may not be a big country, but he held that place together.
The president Agent Long spoke of was a noble and capable leader.
No,
The presidential mask has well and truly slipped. Entirely unlike the man we met. It really did seem as if there were 2 completely different people. But how could one country have 2 presidents? What? What could explain a situation like that? This is how it was possible for there to be 2 presidents. They were twins. One was a body double. It was mistaken identity. Clearly it was twins. I just said Metal Gear Solid, the twin presidents. There was a solid president and a liquid president. And then eventually a solidus president. Personally, I quite like Apollo. Yeah, I did too. So I think you're going to like Spirit of Justice when you get to it. But yeah, Great Ace Attorney, the duology, that is peak Ace Attorney in my opinion. The best game in the series. Because it's basically one long storyline. One was a body double, I think, is the one that makes sense here. Because it was mistaken identity. Golly, Edgeworth, how come their country lets them have 2 presidents? Yeah. We only have one. It was a mistaken identity here in California. Body double, I think. Yeah. One of the 2 was a body double. Tell me that doesn't make sense.
A body double?
President Wong was a man of great power and influence in Jingfa, a figure on the world stage. There must have been countless attempts on his life over the years, such as the one at Gourd Lake only a few days ago.
It's true, there were more than a few assassination attempts. But that doesn't mean I'm about to accept that there was more than one president. Not without proof!
Do we have any proof that there was more than one president? So is this the fake president who got killed? So this is the fake president, right? Do we have proof that there was more than one president? Let's see. So we have the Torosaurus that he held on to. Let's see. So let me think here. Let me think about what possibly 12 year in which President Wong was kidnapped. No, I don't. It wouldn't be anything from night. The bouquet, I don't think so. Oh, it's not a 3D model. Oh, jeez, Capcom. Miss Lloyd's tape. Yeah, we don't really. That's not a big deal. Mr. Aldown's final phone call. What about Mr. Aldown's call? Let's see, it's me. I guess you're asleep already. I'm here at the orphanage. So this was around midnight. Something weird's going on. President Wong is here for some reason. And there's another. I see lights out. Can't quite see, but it looked like he was being kidnapped. Anyway, probably nothing, but I thought I should let you. It looked like he was being kidnapped. Okay. I guess being kidnapped and being murdered can look somewhat similar, depending on how things go down. Hang on a second. So he was there around midnight, right? President Wong was supposed to meet Amelie Fenn at the orphanage at midnight. Okay. Occurred on President and Ransom. President's presence at embassy until midnight confirmed. Oh, you know, that was a little weird when I first read that. So he was at the embassy until midnight, but he was supposed to meet her at midnight. So he was there at midnight, but he was also there at midnight. Is that what we're getting at with this? Because, yeah, that doesn't make sense. If he was at the embassy at midnight, right? Let me read that again. President's presence at embassy until midnight confirmed by Da Long Wong. And then President Wong was supposed to meet Amelie Fenn at the orphanage at midnight. So he knew he was there at midnight, but he was also there at midnight because we confirmed that from the phone call. So I think the SS5 incident is our proof that there was more than one president. I don't think he's noticed the contradiction staring him in the face. Aha! But we did! Or is he just unable to accept it?
What's the matter, Mr. Prosecutor? You're pretty quiet all of a sudden.
In Amelie Fenn's recording, she asked the president to be at the orphanage at midnight. But it shouldn't have been possible for him to be there at that time. Huh? How come? Because he was supposedly still at the embassy. With your father, Agent Long. So he had noticed. The only way he could have been in two places at once is if there were two of him. Oh! So the real president? That was the one who died 12 years ago? I think it might have been.
But why? And who? Who would have hired Connors to murder the president?
In order to figure that out, we'll need to look again at the piece of evidence we recently discovered was a fake. The fake evidence. What was it again? The monster footprints? Or... Wait. Oh, it's been a week. What was it that was fake? Let's see. Oh, the photograph. Man. What happened to my brain there? Yeah, the photograph is staged. The picture taken with Mr. Aldown's camera was staged sometime after his murder. And Mr. Aldown was murdered because he witnessed the president's assassination. In other words, the photograph, too, must have been taken after the real president's death. So who is the president in the staged photograph? The body double. Nothing else makes sense. I believe the president's double had him killed so that he could take his place permanently. An Excelsius winner and Fifi Lagarde helped him do it.
Wait! You don't even have a body to support your theory! Are you telling me it magically disappeared?
No. In fact, we know exactly where it wound up. The president's body was here the whole time. Wait. Is that it? The autopsy report? Or, Oh! The footprints. Because that's what he was digging. Was he... The evidence he was digging up? Was it the president's body? Holy moly! This is getting intense. It is! Chairman Winter dug something up last night, something he couldn't trust anybody else to retrieve. We thought it might have been the ransom money, but it was actually something even more important. Wait, you mean... That's right, the real president's body. I think it's highly likely anyway.
What?
The body may have decomposed in the intervening years, but the bones would surely have remained. Mr. Powers informed us that construction is due to start here sometime soon. Everything had to be wrapped up before then. The shooting of the movie and the recovery of the president's remains. Yeah, I guess once they started digging the place up, they would have found them pretty quick, huh? Agent Long, we need to have the so-called monster footprints analyzed again.
Yeah, I guess we do. If there was a body under one of them, there should be trace evidence to confirm it. Hey, give me somebody from forensics. Sir, presenting the findings of our analysis, sir. Traces of human remains were found in the dirt, along with other signs of a body having been buried. So it really was him. Bones were also recovered from the home of Excelsius Winter. The physique looks to be about right, and dental and medical records are a match. It's him, no doubt about it. So as suspected, the real President Wong was killed 12 years ago, and the SS-5 kidnapping was in fact a homicide. Alright. Wow, so it really was a murder, huh? This case has taken so many twists and turns. I am starting to lose track. Yes, perhaps we should summarize our findings just to confirm that we understand everything correctly. Good idea. Let's go over everything from the point where the president arrived at the orphanage. "12 years ago, the real President Wong visited the orphanage. His aim? To meet his infant son. Right. So he's going over there. The footprints we originally assumed to be those of Mr. Aldown seem likely to have actually been made by the president upon his arrival. But instead of being greeted by his child, he was met by the assassin, Bodhidharma Kanis. I'm glad you... Hey, well, hang out as much as you want. I usually go till about 11. That's so sad. He was hoping to see his baby for the first time, only to... Indeed. But at least with Mr. Kanis, we can be sure that the job was swiftly and effectively completed. Central Standard Time. God's chosen time zone. So, yeah, a couple more hours. But then, after the assassination, another tragedy occurred. Mr. Aldown's murder. Yes, it seems he witnessed a key moment in the evening's proceedings. So, did he witness the actual assassination, or did he witness the kidnapping, is what I'm wondering at this point. Like the quote-unquote kidnapping. The moment when our culprits, the so-called kidnappers, took the president's body around to the side of the building. That was the site that sealed his fate. We've now established that he was standing by the orphanage gates at the time. Far enough away that he believed what he was seeing was the president's abduction. 8 a.m. Whoa. Yeah, that's quite a difference. At which point... Yep. Oh, the body double who had come to meet with his co-conspirators walked right up behind Mr. Aldown. Wait, so the guy who we owned with facts and logic in the first case was the murderer for this case? Oh my gosh. Leading to our unfortunate eyewitness being murdered by the man who was plotting to replace the president. So was it the body double who moved Mr. Aldown's body too? Yes, I think it probably was. But none of the footprints could have been his, could they? Actually, I think they could. In fact, we have a piece of evidence that proves how that particular trick was achieved.
What shows how the body double managed to move the body without leaving any footprints? The victim's shoes. Because he switched the shoes out. What if the president's double moved Mr. Aldown's body like this? After killing Mr. Aldown, he could have carried him to the other side of the entrance. Given that his job was to look just like the president, he would have been wearing the same shoes, meaning that if he stepped exactly in the footprints left by the real president, of course, his would have been the same shape and size. It would have looked like a single set of footprints. So that's how it all went down? I'm so glad we finally figured it out. Wait, but there's one thing I still don't get. There is? What? Why did they need to pretend there was a kidnapping? Mr. Aldown had seen the president at the orphanage and left a message on Miss Ringer's phone describing what he thought he saw. It would have been impossible for the conspirators to erase that message, so they had to make it look as if the events described in the message were true. By staging a kidnapping like the one he thought he saw? Exactly. I think the two people in the photograph are likely to be the body double and Fifi Lagarde. She's the one in the trench coat? How can you be so sure of that? The two of them would have had to walk out beyond the orphanage gates to stage the photo. The body double could have put his feet in the real president's prints as he did before. Oh, so the other set of footprints were hers. The ones we originally thought belonged to the killer, yes. They were about a size 9, too small for Chairman Winner, in other words. Which means the kidnapper must have been played by Warden Lagarde. And that explains how a so-called kidnapping was actually a presidential assassination.
It does. Which means my father must have...
He must have...
noticed. There's no way he wouldn't have suspected a murder. Especially not with the kid's picture as proof.
But the picture was never officially put into evidence, correct? No. He appears to have kept hold of it after taking the witness statement of the child who drew it.
Yeah, because he knew. He knew President Wong was dead. And he knew what would happen if that news ever got out.
Zheng Fa would have been plunged into chaos, no doubt.
So he kept it a secret. And that secret died with him. Even though it meant taking the blame for the kidnapping and our family name being ruined.
So your father knew the truth about what had happened 12 years ago, but he chose to hide it. Well, it's finally coming to light at last. Hey, updated again. Yeah, this is gonna get updated, I bet, for quite a while. There's a lot of change. Oh, is it indeed intriguing, says a voice. Huh?
What? Who's there?
Oh, that sound. Is that a bell? Bah!
What Hamakanus? What the heck are you doing here?
We're the law! You think you can just show up in front of us like it ain't a problem?
Forgive me, but I couldn't help overhearing the fascinating conversation you were having.
The opportunity to gloat over your past crimes was just too good to miss, I expect.
You killed President Wong!
I did. But it's not something I'm inclined to gloat over. I was more interested in something else you mentioned. Or someone else, should I say.
Someone you're looking for, I suppose?
Exactly. That's why I took a little sojourn from the penitentiary to find a certain young pup. A young pup in a rather eye-catching red raincoat.
What? Wait, you know who they are?
In a manner of speaking. What did you call them again? A secret mastermind?
It's your friend in the red raincoat, of course. Red raincoat.
The prosecutor looks a little surprised, doesn't he, Helmut? Yes, he does. The young pup I mentioned, he saved my life, 12 long years ago.
What? Rebuttal? My unexpected savior? How did I remember this part? Well, this part seems pretty darn memorable. Somehow I forgot it. It has been over 10 years now that I played this last, so...
As you have surmised, it was I who killed President Wong. But that meant that I, too, became an inconvenience in need of removal. The imposter president, Winner, Lagarde. All three were keen to guarantee my silence. And if I hadn't met my friend the young pup again, they might even have succeeded. I wonder what he's doing now.
So it was the president's body double who hired you?
I remember his words almost as if it were yesterday.
You know how many times I've nearly been killed? Not once, not twice, a bunch of times. Why do I have to take all the risks? Why am I the one they always put in danger? When I'm out there being him, people treat me like I was him. They worship me. So what's the difference? Who's to say I couldn't be just as good as him?
There was a difference, of course, even if he did look and sound exactly like him. Just because it walks and talks like a president, that doesn't make it a president, does it, boy? No.
So he got his wish and became the boss, but couldn't quite fill his predecessor's shoes.
Ruck's not around. That means I'm number one.
I wonder if you have what it takes to step into such capable shoes.
Of course I do. I'm the leader now. Me.
Seems the king and his knight were much the same. It's been 2 or 3? Okay, yeah. So you played the fan translation then? I did too, yeah.
The president's double knew that his employer had a weakness, a young woman named Amelie. But in order to find her, he needed to enlist the help of locals.
Locals such as Chairman Winner.
Once Miss Fenn had been located, they simply needed to find the right time to lay their trap.
The meeting she arranged so the president could meet his son. That would have been the perfect opportunity.
Indeed. And with the head of the orphanage brought into the fold, their little conspiracy was complete. Warden Lagarde. Now, quid pro quo, where might I find the pup?
What makes you think the boy who helped you and our mysterious string puller are one and the same?
He set a little fire that night, out there in the yard of the orphanage.
Oh, yeah, we saw that. It was some kind of a prank, right?
A prank? It was nothing of the sort, my dear. No, as I understand it, he'd taken refuge in the igloo by the entrance.
Yeah, these names have been new for me, too.
From there, he happened to see Winner and Lagarde carrying away a dead body. He also overheard them hatching a certain sordid little plot. A plot to remove me, the only other person who knew what had really happened, from the picture. Thankfully, he was kind enough to come and inform me. I was waiting inside the building, you see. He also happened to mention later on that he was wearing his favorite red raincoat. In any case, he escorted me from the premises. And being a very considerate boy, thought to erase both our footprints from the scene of the crime. It seems he had a little kerosene set aside in the igloo for just such an occasion.
Wow, that's a prepared kid.
So he spread it liberally about the place and set himself a little fire.
No way! So that's what the fire was for?
It must have been ever so beautiful. Winner and Lagarde were positively enchanted. And while they were distracted by the show, he took the opportunity to usher me out of a side entrance.
Yeah, he just has a can of kerosene in an igloo. Why not, right? You never answered my question. You really think he's the one behind all this?
I do indeed. Don't I, Helmet? Yes, yes, I do.
My unexpected savior. Yeah, who hasn't burned down an orphanage or two as a prank with me? Listen, you know, going through the Trails series, I mean, it's burning down orphanage is just a thing. Alright, as it was I who killed President Wong, but that meant that I too became an inconvenience. The imposter president, all three were keen. Alright, we gotta, like, start presenting here, so... Alright. Yeah. The burning down orphanages, you know? You were pretty forthcoming with that particular admission.
If I'm honest, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm tired of all the killing. But back then, I felt that death was my path. I embraced it and strove to learn what it had to teach. I have made my peace with that, and I am happy to admit it, aren't I, boy? Yes, yes, I am.
I'm not sure what he's talking about, but I definitely don't like the sound of it. Basically, he thought nothing of murdering the president. And not only is he an assassin, he's now a prison escapee. Not someone to be trifled with. But we can't afford for him not to talk. I'll need to tread as carefully as I can. Very well, you killed the president, and you're happy to admit it.
Oh, very much so. I wouldn't want you thinking that I drew my blade and missed.
But that meant that I too became an inconvenience, right? You, a target, but you're an assassin. Sometimes the hunter must become the hunted. Sometimes the living must become the dead. Please, Kay, don't feel the need to add a proverb of your own.
Impermanence is inherent to the way of the assassin. Life takers' lives are taken, so it goes.
Wait, does that mean the people you're sent to kill sometimes try to kill you back? Or...
It happens, occasionally. But it is not what happened this time.
The imposter, president, Winter, Lagarde, all three were keen to guarantee my silence. But Mr. Connis, you're a professional killer, and a famously skilled one at that. Surely escaping even 3 attackers would have been little more than a minor convenience.
You overestimate me, Mr. Edgeworth. You seem to forget that without Helmet here, I couldn't even walk down the street. Against 3 assailants, I wouldn't have lasted more than a few moments.
I see. So even the most proficient assassins are ill-equipped to face a full frontal assault.
We're not hugely fond of such situations, shall we say? I certainly wouldn't have liked my chances.
And if I hadn't met my friend, they might even have succeeded. Okay? Yeah, let's go into this one more. Again? So the two of you had met before?
Yes, on a cold and lonely Christmas Eve 18 years back.
Oh! Christmas Eve 18 years ago, that was the case with Edgeworth's dad that we did. Oh, ho, 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 ho. That's, oh man, interesting. That long ago?
But on that occasion, it was I who saved his life.
Wait, really?
It was snowing, more than it had in years, and cold enough that death by freezing was a real possibility. I had taken Helmet out for a little walk. He noticed something and bounded off through the snow. When I caught up to him, he was sniffing at a car. The doors had frozen shut. It took all the strength I had, but eventually I managed to open one. And inside I found 2 young boys, shivering and semi-conscious.
That is them from the picture. That's them. Oh my gosh, it's wait, it's not only Gusto's son, it's the guy who was murdered in that case. His son. This is weird. It's all coming back to me. Okay, good. Because I'm yeah, this is like I'm getting some remembrances here, but man, It's been a long time. 2?
Yes, and I found them even an hour later. The poor wretches would never have made it. I took them both to a nearby orphanage.
Is it me, or is there something significant about what he just told us? Nah, there's nothing. There's nothing significant about that. It's not important. Yeah, there is. What is it about Conus' statement that's especially noteworthy? The number of people, the date. This was on Christmas Eve 18 years ago. You're certain of that? I'm just so excited. I'd normally read these out, but I'm like, I'm pumped.
I am.
Holy smokes. We have something that shows why that date is so significant. Oh, hey, Fender, yeah, you exist. He's kind of taking a back seat in this case, I've noticed. Which piece of evidence relates to the date on which Mr. Conus found the children? What is it? That was 12 years ago, so that one's not important. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, it's like whenever they ask you, like, oh, should you press harder? Oh, should you think that there's something important about this? The answer is always yes. It is never no. Hang on. Is it the... It's not the report on him, right? No. Wait a minute. Just let Phoenix go. This was a complete waste of time, actually. Yes. Wait, you mean that man, right? Oh, yeah, it's the IS-7 incident, right. Manfred von Karma, body of Artie Frost. Right. Yeah. Artie Frost, that's who it was. That was the same day on which a certain incident occurred. The murder of a well-known sculptor. No way! An incident in the aftermath of which 2 children went missing. That's the picture I was thinking of. The son of the victim, Artie Frost, and the son of the murderer, Carmelo Gusto. Yeah, now that you mention it, the little guys did go AWOL, huh?
Intriguing. The son of a murderer and the son of his victim. I suppose that would make sense.
It would.
One of the boys was bound hand and foot, you see.
That must have been part of Mr. Frost's plan to stop Mr. Gusto's son from getting into the competition. Indeed. Because without his son to taste his creations, Mr. Gusto would have had no chance of winning.
So that was what was behind it all. Sadly, neither of the boys were able to remember any such details.
They weren't?
No. When we met each other again on that night 12 years ago, the young pup explained it to me. It seems that they really were on the brink of death when I found them, and the shock of the experience caused them both to lose their memories.
How convenient. How convenient. Amnesia, the frosty car.
They weren't even able to remember their names.
Wow. So they wouldn't have known they were Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto's kids? If what he's telling us is true, that would seem likely, yes. Which means we still don't have enough to tell us who our mastermind might be. Mr. Conus, would you mind telling us what happened next? My favorite Christmas movie, Amnesia, the Frosty Car. That's right.
By all means.
We're gonna keep going, alright. The pup and I.
The pup and I remained in contact even after I was sent to prison. But then I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but worry. And then people from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place. It rather piqued my curiosity, so that I'd temporarily regain my freedom and look into things.
People from 12 years ago? You mean Lagarde, Winner, and the President, I assume? Well, Warden Lagarde was in charge of the prison where he was an inmate this whole time, right?
I fear I wasn't as kind to her as I could have been. But then she did try to have me killed. You already know why, of course.
Because you murdered President Wong. But they needed the world to believe he was still alive. If somebody had exposed the president as a fake, it would have been bad for Lagarde and Chairman Winner, too.
Exactly. And not only that, I happened to overhear something else intriguing that night.
I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but anyway. That's where we'll be. Okay.
Who are you? Sorry, but I'm waiting for somebody.
I know you are, President Mong. I couldn't help overhearing the news. Congratulations. But please don't worry about your son. I only kill those I'm employed to kill. Which in this case means you.
No. Wait, this is my first chance to meet him. And it might be my only chance. Please, give me just a few minutes longer.
I thought he was going to beg for his life, but no. An interesting character.
That man and Edgeworth always end up tripping into government-shattering conspiracies by complete accident. They do! They do! It just starts out with something small, and then it goes crazy.
I told him I was not aware that he had a child. No, he said and shook his head. Neither was I. But the world will know that I have one now. I mean to make sure of it. I've even prepared something in case the worst comes to the worst. And the son in question... It was the young gentleman with the horns here, correct?
Horns? You can see them?
I don't need to, my dear. I've been listening very carefully, you see. And for longer than you may realize.
Has he just been following us this whole case? So the president meant to tell the world about Sean, and prepared something in case of the worst. But it's not enough simply to have Connus' word on the matter. Yeah, I forgot he was blind for a second, too.
Of course! We have something that proves what he's telling us the president said is true. The will. A will everybody knows about. He entrusted it to my family to show his belief in us, after all.
The name in the recording, the preparations he had made, and his will. With those 3 pieces of information, I was able to convince Warden Lagarde to do anything I asked.
He's just been standing directly behind Edgeworth this entire time. Yeah, right. Okay, I get the feeling someone is breathing directly into my ear. No clue. With the information at his disposal, he could have exposed the truth about the body double at any time, and Sean's true identity with it. Why didn't he?
President Wong was more agile than I'd anticipated. He blocked my first knife thrust with something soft. By the time the piece had broken off hit the snow, my next strike had hit its mark. So it was Connus who tore the horn off of the Torosaurus doll. I was the only one present to hear his final words. The only one who knew the truth about his son. Well, me and that poor pup.
The pup and I. Okay, back into it here. The pup and I remained in contact. Alright. This is like lore dump simultaneous rebuttal. So you were able to continue communicating with him from prison?
I was, via a post office box.
What's that? It's a means of exchanging mail without revealing one's own address.
I never knew where he was, and I wasn't able to slip out and track him down.
This is where I watched my parents die, Raphael. Yeah, seriously.
I was being kept under rather strict supervision, you see.
By Warden Lagarde, no doubt. What were the two of you even communicating about?
We were playing correspondence chess, of course. That and griping about our respective lots in life.
Correspondence chess? But didn't you used to play that with... As unlikely as it may seem, Mr. Connus' chess opponent was... Mr. Knight? Yeah, it was Mr. Knight. Oh, we're bringing Knight into this too, are we? Oh, I do like, by the way, that he's Knight now and not Knightly, like he was in the fan translation. We found the diagram of the game in his cell, too. Yes, correspondence chess diagram data. Nice. He lost 3 letters. He did. So does that mean Knight had something to do with all that IS-7 business? Wait, could that be it? Do we have any evidence that might connect Knight to the IS-7 incident? Was it the Knight report on Knight? You were right, there's some sort of connection between Knight and Canis, as we know. Canis plays a silly correspondence chess games with, well, now we know. There are these Canis' lackey. Yeah, it's the report on Knight, right? It's 5 a.m. now, wow. Mr. Fender, could you take a look at this, please? Sure can, good buddy, but why? You're not trying to tell me this ties Knight to the IS-7 thing, are you? Cause I gotta say, Mauserino, I don't see it at all. Fine. I'll need to think this over one more time. Let's see. You had some of the Bronxter's things, right? The Bronxter, I do. Why not take another look-see? Maybe something IS-7 relevant will jump out at you. Knight's things. I suppose it could be worth another look. Then I stopped hearing from him. Wait a minute. So... I've got his stuff, right? A pocket chess set and a ring found it. Oh! That ring says Paul Halik, doesn't it? It's the PH. Yeah. Yeah. So let's do this again. We'll press it, and then we'll get to that point. Alright. It's kind of annoying that we have to go through this again, but whatever. Let's see. Alright, do we have any evidence? Yes, we do. It was Knight's possessions. This is everything Knight left behind. Could there be a clue in here somewhere? A ring and a chess set. Which one should we look at more closely? The ring! The ring. What about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Because the PH, Paul Halik, that was the same inscription that was in case 3. Mr. Fender, take a closer look at it, if you would. That design? That's Paul Halik's trademark mark! Indeed, it looks like somebody turned the stamp he used to sign his work into a ring. But why would Knight have been carrying it? And why was it not with the rest of the evidence from the IS-7 incident? They tried to release Frost's personal effects to his next of kin after the case wound down. But if I remember rightly, old Frosty Boy didn't have any family aside from his kid. And the kid was missing, so they never got to hand it back to him. But not till later, anyhow. I heard on the grapevine that they found him in the end and gave him the goods. Including the seal, it would seem. Which he turned into a ring and wore until his own death. Oh! Wait a minute. So, yeah. Okay. I have... Knowing that Knight is related to this has brought in a lot of things that we have figured out. Yes. I think I've figured this out. Okay, anyway. So we're saying Mr. Knight was Mr. Frost's son? The cops don't mess around with stuff like that. They would have made sure before handing it over. And we were looking for somebody connected to the IS-7 incident who played correspondence chess, right?
Wait, so our secret string puller is Bronco Knight?
He's dead. Knight is dead. How could he possibly be involved in our current case? That's very stupid of you. I'm going to give you a penalty for that. Far out. So our only candidate for genius mastermind is a guy who already kicked the bucket? That's impossible! How can a dead guy be behind all this? It is a little perplexing, but then who else could it be? But then I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but worry, right? He stopped responding. That seems strange.
I'm glad you agree. Helmet did too, of course.
That big scary mutt really said that? What, like, woof, woof, that's barkin' mad? What? That's barkin' mad. Apparently Frost is the first character to die chronologically, not counting the Great Ace Attorney, in the Ace Attorney timeline. Ain't that neat? That is actually pretty neat. That's really cool. So if we're counting the Great Ace Attorney, the first character to die chronologically would be, is it Dr. Wilson? Would that be the one? Or would that be, well, a character who I can't mention, because that would spoil a ton of things. Never mind. I'm not gonna bring that up.
He does not need to talk in order for me to hear him, my dear.
He doesn't? Okay, well then let me ask you something. Yeah, it was Wilson, right? It was the guy who got killed in the first case of Great Ace Attorney? That look he's giving me. The super intense, kind of scary glare. He's not trying to say he's hungry, is he?
He might be.
He might be? Mr. Edgeworth, help! Okay, he isn't really fond of Connis's pet, it seems.
Yes, there's a good boy. Now, where was I? Oh, of course. I suddenly stopped hearing from the pub.
And then people 12 years ago started creeping up all over the place. Doggy. That is a big doggy. It does seem all like a little much of a coincidence, doesn't it? An attempt was made on the life of the man who was pretending to be President Wong all these years. Warden Lagarde murdered Bronco Knight while he was being held at the prison she ran. An Excelsius winner, chairman of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, murdered Rosie Ringer. And the more I think back, the more it seemed at the time that some mysterious other presence was lurking behind all those incidents.
Yes. Even from behind bars, it was rather obvious that something strange was going on.
It, alright, rather piqued your curiosity. Alright. You thought you'd temporarily regain your freedom? Could you be any more brazen? Yeah, even a thief would struggle to get away with something like, I thought I'd temporarily steal it.
Fear not, nobody was injured in the course of my escape. It wasn't necessary, after all. I have my ways. Let's leave it at that, shall we?
Leave it! No way, pal! You escaped! I ought to arrest you right now!
There'll be no need for that, Detective. As soon as my business is concluded, I'll return home to my cell.
Are you serious? Prison isn't supposed to be some place you can just stroll in and out of when you please?
Strange that you should say that. Weren't you the one who strolled in to try and dig into my past only recently?
You...
What kind of a own is that? Did you, officer of the law, come to the prison to investigate a crime? How dare you? The back wall of his cell is a garage door. Yeah, he just click, click, and then it opens up. Agent Long, Detective Gumshoe, I need to be able to question Mr. Connis further. Could you both try to remain calm for now?
Sure thing, sir! Kinda knew you were gonna say that! Fine. But I'm not taking my eyes off a dog man. Not even for a second, you hear?
Oh, that's right. The wolf and the dog are gonna face off. See, I did so used to enjoy tapping out my little letters in Braille. In Braille? That's how you wrote all of them?
That's right. I have the tools to do so in my cell.
Huh, so you have to use special tools? I never thought about it before, but I guess that makes sense. And what exactly did you write about, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, this and that. General chit-chat. And chess moves, of course.
He wrote the chess moves in Braille, too? That's interesting. Speaking of chess moves, how does that piece you carved yourself move? The dog? Perhaps we can talk about that later. For now, I'd like to know what happened when the letters stopped.
I sat in my cell and tried to imagine where he might have gone.
Okay, nope. I still don't get it. Who does he mean? Who's this pup he keeps talking about? Who indeed? It seems that not even Mr. Connis knows his true identity. So we should focus on what we do know, that there was a connection between the two of them. I'm particularly interested in how that connection was maintained. Alright, so, let's see. Well, hang on a second. What did he say? I did so... Wait. I thought I'd temporarily regain my freedom and look into things, okay. I did so used to enjoy tapping out my little letters in Braille. Don't we have... some of the... Yeah, okay, we have the correspondence chess diagram. That's not in Braille, though. What next? Rook, no, pawn to g6. Bishop to g2. Ooh, okay. So is that... because it's not in Braille, right? Printed rather than handwritten. Interesting. So the Braille thing is weird. You said that you wrote all your letters in Braille, is that correct?
I don't mean to be rude, Mr. Prosecutor, but you do know about my condition, don't you?
That's odd, because the chess diagram we found in Knight's cell didn't contain any Braille at all.
Really? But surely that's impossible.
How so, exactly? Maybe someone typed Mr. Connis's letters out on purpose. Meaning there may have been some sort of intermediary between the two of them. So then... Mr. Connis says he wrote letters in Braille, and yet... the letters received by Mr. Knight contained no Braille at all. This suggests that there must be a third party who typed Mr. Connis's letters out. Guess it could have worked the same way on the flip side too, right? Whoever it was could have taken Knight's letters and turned them back into Braille? They could indeed. Correspondence chess diagram data updated in my organizer. Cool. I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Connis. Mr. Connis, the answers you received.
They were written in Braille too, yes.
So, some mysterious middle person really was retyping the Bronxter's missives?
And that same person
might well be our secret string puller.
Wait, you're trying to say there's another hidden mastermind behind this whole thing? So who's this new one?
Hey, there's too many masterminds. Bronco Knight, son of Artie Frost, is already dead. But what if the other child from the incident 18 years ago... I knew it! It's the Gusto kid! I called this! Is actually the one who we've been looking for. Oh, yeah!
Carmelo Gusto's son? But who is he? And where is he?
I already know. If Knight was Frost's son, Gusto's son would have to be... I've known him since we were kids. When both of us were all alone. He doesn't have any family, you see. Just like me.
Him? But surely not!
What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? You're white as a sheet.
Of course, it all makes sense. I know exactly who our so-called mastermind is.
What? Who? You have to tell us!
I can hardly believe it, but it's somebody we know rather well. This person we've been looking for is...
Drum roll, please. It's Eustace Win. No, I'm kidding. It is Simon Keys. It was his old name. It's Simeon Saint. That's right. It's Larry Butts. Yeah, it's Larry Butts. Someone I know rather well. It has to be the person behind all this. It was a lot of heart. Oh no. The person who forced Chairman Winter's hand by sending the letter to Rosie Ringer. The person who kidnapped Sean and bugged Kay and myself. The person who did the strangest thing of all. Yeah, that was strange. Who drugged Kay and carried her up to the roof of the big building. It was the monster. What? Did you really just say what I thought you did? Yes, the monster. That was the key to unmasking our mastermind. Oh, I almost forgot. We're, doing a new show soon. I'd love it if you could come, Mr. Edgeworth. They named it the Big Building, yes. I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one. That's right, the Berry Big Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun.
Miss Lloyd, could I ask a favor?
Ooh, little old me? What kind of favor?
You told us you recorded the sound of Torosaurus breathing fire. Proof? What kind of proof? Did you capture something on your tape recorder, perhaps?
Oh, you're good, Ruffles. Sharper than a gosh dang tack. I captured the sound of what big old beastie breathing fire was what I captured. Sure did. Like I said, I didn't precisely see the guy, but boy, did I hear him.
Can we listen to the tape?
You surely can. Let's see now.
That's it. That sound. It must be what I think it is. My theory has to be correct. The truth about the monster. The identity of the person behind all this. It's all falling into place. Miss Hart, you saw a giant eye at the window of the storeroom, did you not?
Yup, snap me a picture of it too. Even if you can't rightly see it so well.
We can't see it right now, but... Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, sir!
Your image analyzer. Can we borrow it again?
Sure, but what do you want to look at, sir?
This photograph right here.
Gotcha! I'm on it!
The clue we're looking for must be here. We just have to find it.
Alright, I'm gonna look at that in just a second. I need to take a very quick break, and I'll be right back.
BRB.
Alright, I have returned! Alright. So, we're looking over here. And... zoom in. There it is. The eye. That's... See? I done told y'all! Torosaurus, his own dang self.
Yes, there it is at last.
The monster commanded by the architect of this whole scheme. Monster? You're finally ready to admit it? That he's danged real? The big bad bull himself? Teeth breached. Good. No, because that isn't Torosaurus at all. It's the eye of a different giant beast entirely. Take a look at this, if you would. Hey, it's Max! The very big circus flyer. Oh, wait, look! You see it? The enormous lion balloon? That's the real monster. And the sound Miss Lloyd thought was the creature breathing fire. Oh, come on, you really gonna bring me crashing down to Earth like that? That's how balloons fly, huh? They burn gas to make hot air? They do, and our culprit was able to use that balloon to carry Kay up to the roof of the big building without ever going near the elevator. So this culprit, they've got something to do with the circus? Circus worker, friend of the Bronxter, son of Gusto. Whoa, you're not serious? You forgot to mention trainee animal trainer. It's hard to believe. But he's the one who's been pulling the strings this whole time. That's right. Simeon Saint is the one behind all this! Simeon? But everything? Really? I don't believe you. We trusted him, and he trusted us. You can't tell me that was all lies. That would be too horrible. I'm sorry, Kay. Who was that? Hey, where do you think you're going, old man?
Nothing escapes you, does it, young pup? My congratulations, Mr. Edgeworth. But now that I know the truth, my business here is done.
What? No, Mr. Connors, wait! Goof! Oh no, got dogged.
Damn it, he disappeared.
Are you okay, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't worry, I'm fine, but... Damn you. Are you alright, Sean? He killed my dad. He did, right? There's no easy way to say it, but... Sorry, Sean. It would appear that he did. He won't get away with it. I'll make him pay. He got attacked by a PNG of a... He did. A moving one, even. This is like, When They Cry visual novel levels of animation. Somehow, some way, I'll... No, Sean! You mustn't say such things. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. You'll have to forgive us both. I just put the call out, sir. All units are on the lookout for Mr. Connors.
I don't mean to hurry everybody, but we'd better be on our way too. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, where do you think we'll find our mastermind?
I suppose you're right. We should go after the mastermind right now. He said he had to practice for the show, which I guess means he'll be at the circus. But before we leave, there's something I'd like to ask of you, Agent Long.
There is? What?
Once a beast has been sighted, the next step is to plan its capture. When we arrive, there's something we'll need to try to find as a matter of priority. And Detective, I'd like you to look into something that's been bothering me about Sean's kidnapping.
Yes, sir!
I want to help too, Mr. Edgeworth. Good. There's somebody I'd like you to try and contact. If Saint really is our mastermind, we're going to need this person's help. The circus case was the villain. Yes, you're right! It was the bad guy this entire time. Between our many encounters, I never suspected a thing, even though he was right there in front of me. I messed up. There's no other way of putting it, but I'm going to put things right once and for all. To be continued. Ah, no, we're gonna continue it right now, I say. We're gonna get this done. April 6th, 5:30 p.m. Very Big Circus. Big Top. Oh, is the music gonna start again? Oh, it is! Oh, hi, Mr. Edgeworth. Did you guys come to watch the show? Hello, Miss Berry, Mr. Saint. Oh, he's all made up. You're a little early, I'm afraid. We're still practicing. Very Big Circus, death will follow. But I'm glad you kept your promise. Yes, I remembered you giving me this. It's fine, it's just it plays so much in Turnabout Big Top in Game 2. It's like I hear it so much in that case. That's so great. You're gonna have so much fun. I think even you'll be surprised, Mr. Edgeworth. Huh, I think you've surprised me enough for one day already. Got him! Got him! What are you talking about? Would you mind looking at this photograph, Miss Berry? Look at this photograph. That's the eye pinned on the balloon you used to advertise the circus, correct? Oh, yeah. What is this exactly? I have a strong suspicion that the balloon was used by the criminal we've been looking for. You do? Who's usually in charge of the balloon, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, that would be Simeon. But wait, you don't mean... Mr. Saint, you took the balloon out late the other night, didn't you? Sure, I was practicing. I'm still pretty bad at flying it, so I needed to put in some extra hours. At night? Would it have been even more difficult than usual? A strange time to decide to practice. But why else would I have taken the balloon out? What are you saying? That you weren't practicing at all. You were taking an unconscious Kay to the top of the big building in order to frame her for the murder of Rosie Ringer. The security cameras never recorded Kay taking the elevator up to the roof, which means she must have gotten there another way, from the sky. And the only person able to make that happen would have been you. But, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't understand. That's not all you did. You also attacked Sean at the garbage disposal area, drugged him, and carried him away. That's why you were late for the hearing at the courthouse, wasn't it? I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I do any of those things? Please, you have to believe me. I'd never, ever do anything like that. I wish I could believe you, but I can't. Any trust I had in you has been completely destroyed. That's horrible! Why would you say that? You told me back at the jail. You said you believed I was innocent. You don't have to worry about that. We're friends. We know what it's like to be in your shoes. We're all part of the same club after all, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Unfortunately so, I'm afraid. Thank you for sharing such personal details with us. By the sound of it, you had little reason to kill Knight. If anything, you're the one most affected by his passing. And what's more, I simply don't believe a person as gentle as you is capable of murder. Rest assured, we believe you, and we will get you out of here. I don't remember when it plays, but I feel one of the best songs in the game is going to start playing. Oh, okay. I'm looking forward to it. This is just awful. I never thought you'd lie to me. We didn't lie. I swear, Simeon, you said you knew what it was like to be me. I trusted you. That hurts, Kay. It hurts so much. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. This is Simeon we're talking about. He's not a bad person. I see it now. That's your strategy, isn't it? With everybody. You root out their psychological weaknesses and exploit them. And without even realizing it, they wind up doing exactly what you want them to. Exactly the behavior one would expect from the arch manipulator behind all our recent troubles. I was too blind to see it before, but you won't fool me again. Simeon Saint, you are guilty of crimes too numerous to mention. Oh, so that's how you want to play it, huh? You always did have the courage of your convictions, I guess. Luckily, grinding people's self-belief into dust is kind of a hobby of mine. Uh-oh. What? Oh. 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 What? Well done, all of you. Well, this is certainly a side of him we haven't seen before. So much for the trainee animal tamer who wouldn't hurt a fly. I guess that was all an act. But I'm glad we're finally getting to meet the real you. Simeon, this can't be true, can it? Truth, lies, what does it matter? Huh? All you need to know is that Mr. Edgeworth here has made me very mad indeed. That's a cat. And now he's going to pay. Oh. I was just out practicing. Here we go. Sure, I went up in the balloon a couple of nights ago, but I was just practicing. I guess somebody took that picture when I flew by the big building. I fly around the area doing promo stuff for the circus all the time. He turned into Krusty the Clown for the briefest second. Yeah, just for a second. Nothing to see here, Miles. Nothing at all. So you go up in the balloon reasonably often? Yeah, promoting the circus, like I said. Is that true, Miss Barry? Well, it's true that it's Simeon's job to go up in the balloon and spread the word. I guess just about everybody in the area would have seen him up there by now. Well, that balloon was used in the commission of a crime. Nonsense! I just happened to be in the area where it happened. Somebody took a picture when I was flying past the big building, that's all. I'll be the judge of whether you just happened to be nearby, thank you very much. So I was just out practicing. I went up in the balloon a couple of nights ago. Yeah? This balloon, do you usually launch it from here at the circus? No, you need a wide open space. There's a park over by Sunshine Coliseum. That's where I usually take off from. I see. And how do you get the balloon to the park to launch it? Not by hand, that's for sure. That thing must weigh a few 100 pounds. It's kind of impressive that it can even get off of the ground now that I think about it. I'd prefer it if you didn't change the subject. How do you transport the balloon? Wow, give a guy a break, will you? It's not like I was getting miles off track. Sheesh. We use a truck, okay? You just load it on the back and away you go. Oh, he said the word miles. A truck, you say? Yeah, last time I took it out would have been 2 days ago. That could be important. I'd better keep it in mind. The last time I took the balloon out on the truck would have been then, the day before last. Wait, what truck? This truck? Uh-huh. I think we can just go ahead and do this. Yeah. Because that truck has the same tarps on it. It's not like we were getting Gregory's away. Yes. This truck. It wouldn't happen to be blue by any chance. Huh? So what if it is? We happened to see a blue truck ourselves just today. One with a large basket loaded on the back. If that was the truck you told us about, then your statement about it not having moved in 2 days is a lie. Oh, what? Hey! It's Emma. I was wondering if she was going to ever show up again or if she was just like a very random one-off. Agent Long, Emma! There you are, Mr. Edgeworth. At last. I've been trying to find you ever since we wrapped up the case yesterday. Kay sent me a message saying you were here, so I came right away.
And I found what you asked me to go look for. It was loaded onto a truck in the parking lot out back. A blue truck.
I need her hat IRL. Really? Also her DS. Yes. It is a nice hat. Lion hot air balloon data jotted down in my organizer. Well, well. I think that truck might be the one we saw earlier today. In fact, I'm almost certain of it. Oh, he's got his own objection then. What, just because it's blue? Like a million other trucks? What makes you so sure it's the exact same one? No, I saw it too. It's the same one for sure. Huh? What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth?
That wasn't me.
Worthless are the words of a man who can't back up his claims with evidence. Wow, you sound just like him.
Show me. I demand proof.
I must be able to prove it somehow. It's the same truck, I'm sure of it. Huh? What are you doing, Mr. Edgeworth? Why are you touching the truck?
The engine's cold, which means it's been here for a while.
No way! You can tell just from that?
What can I use to prove it's the same truck?
Fingerprint testing! Edgeworth revealed as a truckist. Yes, he's truckist. Okay, so luminol testing, fingerprint dusting, or metal detector. Nobody was killed in the truck that we know of, so the likeliest thing is... this is like the same thing that happened in... oh shoot, what was it? The mass-to-mass case, right? In the third Phoenix Wright game. Because you remember when Phoenix grabbed that, the one thing that was found at Atmy's office? That thing. And it turned out Phoenix's fingerprints were on it. It's like the same principle here, so we had to do the fingerprints. I'd like to have the truck dusted for fingerprints. Huh? Why would you want to do that? Because I expect to find a certain very specific set of prints. I have a very specific set of prints that will make me a nightmare for people like you. Beep, beep, beep. I think we found it's made out of metal, Detective Gumshoe. I could actually see him doing that.
Sir, this truck is definitely made of metal.
And if I do that, we'll prove beyond all doubt that it's the truck we saw in front of the big building. Whose prints will prove that it was the truck that we saw? A lot of hearts, Simeon Saints, or Miles Edgeworths. Miles Edgeworths. Yours? You think you're gonna find your own prints on there?
I do, because I put my hand on your truck when I saw it in front of the big building.
Let's see what we can find, shall we? Emma, could you lend us your scientific skills one more time? That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. One moment, please. Alrighty, take it away, Mr. Edgeworth.
Huh? Me?
Of course. Who else did you think was going to do it? Don't worry, it's easy. I'll show you how. You gotta blow into the microphone.
Fine. Although I don't see why you can't do it yourself.
Yes, exactly like Phoenix's prints in the Luke at me situation. So just spread the powder over the area you want to search for prints. Like this. I prefer Iris's, what was it, makeup slash... It was her fingerprint dust gun that you get eventually in Great Ace Attorney. Moving the cursor around and pressing space will allow me to dust the area with powder. It sticks to fingerprints, so once you've found one, make sure to dump plenty on there, and then blow away the excess.
Blow it away?
Yeah, with your mouth. Ha! Like that. Got a hock twag. I don't know if Manlet Thorin is in the audience right now, but I did that for him. Like that. Okay. Blowing with tea should remove any excess powder. Okay. All right, you got all that?
Yes, thank you.
Now to try it for real. Oh, there's no such thing as too much powder, by the way. Go crazy. So, like that. And I'm going to, quote-unquote, blow into the microphone of the Nintendo DS that this was originally made for. And, there we go. That's it. That's a nice, clean print you got there. Can we compare it to my prints right away? Yep, leave it to me. That confirms it. It's Mr. Edgeworth's print, all right. And with that, another lie is exposed. Oh, you played it on the Wii? Nice. Okay. Yeah! He's holding his rabbits. Oh, I got a waggle to blow. Yeah, I had to waggle for everything on the Wii.
So what were you doing in the truck?
Oh, just driving around. For fun, you know.
Kay was abducted 2 nights ago, and your balloon was sighted nearby. Then today, another abduction, this time involving a truck supposedly used to transport garbage, and your truck was sighted nearby.
Coincidence, nothing more.
You want me to believe that you were near the scene of 2 separate abductions simply by chance? Just be honest, you were involved in both.
What makes you think they were even connected?
A certain very important piece of evidence, that's what.
Oh, this should be good.
What connects Kay and Sean's abductions?
You could point to Oh, yeah. You know, my absolute hands-down favorite Resident Evil 4 adaptation is the Wii because of the motion controls. It just feels so good to play it like that. It is the sedative.
Kay was drugged with a dose of a powerful sedative, and a bottle of sedative was found right where Sean was being held captive. The same brand, no less.
Heh, I knew you'd try something like this. So the same sedative was used. So what? Does that mean everything's connected? You know as well as I do that doesn't prove anything for sure.
Yeah, we must have something. There must be a piece of evidence that can tie him to both crimes.
Cops, prosecutors, you, Miles, you're all the same at the end of the day. You force the evidence to fit the crime, or you flat out make it up. Just as long as somebody goes to jail. You're no different from a certain other evidence tamperer we've had the misfortune of meeting.
No, I'm nothing like him.
Then show me! Hit me with your killer piece of evidence. You must have one, right?
It's no use. We don't have anything that can tie him directly to both kidnappings.
Okay, you about done there, Miles? No more cheap shots left to fire? Great. Well, I have a show to be rehearsing for, so if you don't mind. Hey, come on now, you two. There's no need to get all hot under the collar. Wouldn't want your good looks running down your face now, would we, Simeon, old pal?
Motion controls were... Yeah, I actually did like a lot of Wii motion controls, honestly. I feel like they kind of live on in VR. I do own a MetaQuest 3, and it's got some cool stuff on there for sure. Resident Evil 4 VR, of course, is pretty good.
What are you sticking your nose in for?
Hey, I just sensed the vibe getting a little harsh and heavy, yeah? Thought I ought to lighten the mood.
Help me out here, Kay. Lift our spirits with a little dose of the old great thief magic. You don't have to tell me twice. Okay, let me see if I can do Simeon's voice. Here goes. Objection. What are you... Take this seriously, will you? Thought you could do with somebody running a little interference for you, Mouster. Not the most ethical approach I know, but again, Kay, again.
We can worry about whether or not this is the right thing to do later. This is my last chance to try and prove a connection between Mr. Saint and his crimes.
Funny thing is, I moved recently and the new apartment has a TV and remote that works exactly the same. Really, as the Wiimote? That's really interesting. I've never heard of that. Is that like a new thing?
Let's forget the kidnappings for now. Is there anything else that suggests that he is our mastermind?
A lot, right? The night connection.
Of course. Connus was looking for our secret string puller too.
The young pup, as he called him.
If I could prove that Mr. Saint was that same young pup, then perhaps. But what evidence do I have that might point to him being involved behind the scenes?
Well... Is it the correspondence chess diagram? Because that's the thing they talked about, the intermediary. They call it a magic remote. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that does sound really cool. I would love to like play around with the TV that does that. Is that it? Because like that's a very strong immediate connection. Is the between, because we know there's a connection between Knight and Canis. Somebody retyped it. So yeah, I think that's it. I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Canis.
And that same person
Might well be our secret string puller. Oh, hang on a second. This was like a mental thing that I'm lodging out of my brain here from a second ago. I'm thinking this also means that Simeon was the one who hired the killer to kill the president of Zhengfa, and the killer is coming after him because of the betrayal that he thinks happened. That's right. Our mastermind was involved in Canis and Knight's correspondence chess exchanges. If I can prove that Mr. Saint was the hidden intermediary between the two of them...
All right, that's enough. This is getting painful. You don't have anything, and I have to practice for the show. So if you don't mind...
Thank you, Mr. Fender. I can take it from here. And I can't take any more of your interventions. Ooh, just look at that face. Yeah, I like it. Mauserino's back in the game for sure. I'm Simeon the funny clown. Look at me. I'm juggling. Okay, you can stop now. So his distraction would just have Kay be really annoying for a minute. Mr. Saint, you're a fan of chess, I take it. Huh? Where did that come from? Chess? Sure, I don't hate it. Our secret string puller was playing correspondence chess with Mr. Canis.
I thought Bronco was the one playing chess with Canis. You're saying he was your so-called mastermind?
No, it wasn't him. Whoever it was went on manipulating events even after Knight's death. Take a look at this letter, if you would. Who do you think could have written it? I believe it was the person who had inserted themselves between Mr. Canis and Knight.
And you think that person was me?
Why would I go through all that trouble? That's crazy. To make it appear that the two men were connected and communicating directly with one another. The very fact that led Fifi Lagarde to murder him. What? You're saying he set that up to try and get Mr. Knight killed? Listen to yourself. What do you think I am? Some kind of evil puppet master? Yes, I do.
You've seen me.
I can barely even get the animals to do what I want. If we could find one of the letters he passed between Knight and Canis, he says as he has them make a human thing to lean on, that would prove the connection beyond a doubt. I'd like to have your room searched. I believe we might find...
Letters? You won't trust me?
What?
Once I'm done with something, I put it straight in the trash.
Yes, I'm not the sentimental type. Why get hung up on the past, right? Gah! He must have disposed of any incriminating items in order to cover his tracks.
Guess you went in without the evidence you needed once again, huh?
That's a bad habit, you know. So this doesn't prove anything either. We've fallen short yet again. What do we do now? Are we out of options? You accuse me of betraying my friend, and you don't even have any proof? You're despicable! Who was that?
Oh, hi.
Miss Barry? What does she want?
Sorry, it's just, I was thinking about what you were saying, and this Knight person, you mean Bronco, right? Simeon's friend?
Yes, what of it? Does she know something? He can make the squirrels juggle themselves, so no, that's a contradiction right there. Objection!
A letter came from him this morning. For Simeon.
Wait, from him? What?
What did you...
How is that possible? Knight is dead. Miss Barry, we need to see this letter right away.
Sure, here you go.
It's got a knife. It's got a chest knight on it. Let's open it up, shall we? It's another correspondence chess letter. The next move from the game with Mr. Connus. Can somebody else smell checkmate? Can't wait to see your face when you lose. But you were never gonna beat me, not at chess. It's postmarked the 26th of March, the day before Knight died. I guess it must have gotten held up en route. Well, we do move around a lot. It's part of being a traveling circus. Our mail arrives late all the time. Interesting that it's addressed directly to you, Mr. Saint. Yeah! This is it, isn't it? The proof we needed that you were the one facilitating Mr. Connus and Knight's games. One of the letters you would have transcribed into Braille in order to create the illusion that they were somehow connected. Curse you, Bronco! You're still getting in my way even now! I hate you! I hate you! Simeon, how could you? Mr. Knight was your only friend. Heh, we weren't friends! I stopped thinking he was my friend 18 years ago. Right around the time of the IS-7 incident, in other words. I nearly froze to death because of him. Do you do voice acting? I actually thought about getting into voice acting in college, but I ended up going a different route. Thank you, I do appreciate that. I was just about to head out and meet my dad at the contest. But then Bronco showed up. He pinned me down and tied me up. He was crying the whole time, whining on and on. I'm sorry, but my dad says I have to do this, and if I don't do what he says, he's so scary. Oh. Stop it, Bronco, stop it. I have to go meet my dad, I promised. If I'm not there to taste his candy for him, he'll be so upset. So he's Gusto's kid, yeah. He needs me. If I don't go, he won't be able to show everybody he's the best in the world. But no, he locked me in that car with him, and the two of us nearly died. He thought he could get out, but when he tried the door, it was frozen shut. We were trapped. And that's how I lost my dad. You lost your dad? Yeah, Bronco's dad killed mine. He was the son of a murderer. What does he mean? That doesn't match up with what we know at all. Yeah! What? Simeon, the victim in the IS-7 incident was a guy named Artie Frost. Yeah, that was my dad's name. My memories got kind of scrambled that day. What little I remembered was pretty mixed up. So I didn't find out until later that my dad was murdered. The murderer was a man named Carmelo Gusto, a confectioner. Really? I never knew Bronco's father's name. And maybe I chose not to remember. Just thinking about the sicko that killed my dad turns my stomach. Mr. Saint, are you sure you didn't know the name of the murderer until just now? Do you think I'd sit on it if I did? No, I'd have reported him to the police straight away. All I knew was that Bronco's dad tricked my dad. And that's how I knew my dad was the one who was killed that day. Bronco was a traitor. He helped his father murder mine. But wait a minute. If Bronco got Artie Frost's things, then isn't he the next of kin? And isn't Saint Gusto's kid? He was the son of a cold-blooded killer. He deserved to die. I'm sorry, Mr. Saint, but you've made a mistake. A big one. A mistake? What do you mean? Gusto was the one who couldn't taste. Yeah, exactly. Artie Frost was a sculptor. He'd been working in France not so long before the murder, under the name Paul Halik. So I hear, but I don't remember anything about that. I wish I could. Well, I'm afraid it's only natural that you don't. Because he wasn't your father. Huh? Is this your idea of a joke? Well, it's not funny. Not at all. You're right, it's not. But you need to know the uncomfortable truth. This piece of evidence proves that you're not Artie Frost's son. Is it the knight's possessions? Yeah. Huh? Bronco's chess set and a ring? Yes. Take a look at the ring for me, if you would. What does the engraving on it tell you? It's 2 letters, right? It is. This is the seal with which Paul Halik used to mark his works. And it was found next to Artie Frost's body 18 years ago. But why would Bronco have a memento of my father? The police looked for Frost's son for a long time, and eventually they found him. The ring was handed over to the man they were able to prove was his child, Bronco Knight. But that's not... That would mean I was... Precisely, that you are in fact the son of Carmelo Gusto. No, that can't be! My dad was... I remember, don't I? Bronco tied me up and locked me in that car. It was his fault I lost my dad. He deserved to die, didn't he? No way. So I get to see your circus thing, even though I'm in jail? Was looking forward to the next move in our little chess game, so the show was just the icing on top. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. I will. And hey, come back soon, okay? I'll be mulling over my next move in the meantime. Oh, speaking of which, I put a little something in your chess set, but you can take a look at it later. A little something? No idea what that might be, but thanks. If you hadn't detained me 18 years ago, it wouldn't have had to end like this. Huh? Did you say something? Me? Oh, it was nothing. Goodbye, Bronco. And farewell. I did all that, and now you're telling me that it was my father who killed Broncos? Then what was all this for? I didn't want to wind up dead too. I didn't want to be weak and vulnerable. That's why I tried to be like Connus. Why I stayed in touch with him all these years. And there we have it. The truth at last. Mr. Saint, you were Mr. Connus's correspondence chess partner. And you were the one manipulating events this whole time. Yeah, you're right, it was me. It was me all along. Last, he's finally telling the truth. I was the one who witnessed the murder 12 years ago, but you knew that already. The president's assassination, just as we thought. Which means he's the one who drew the picture. And they knew it too. That's why Lagarde kept questioning me day in and out. It got so I couldn't face what I knew the next day would bring. I was a nervous wreck. Who could blame me for wanting to get out of there? But I imagine it wasn't as easy as simply running away. Winter would have sent his men after you. No matter where I went, they were on me. They never stopped coming. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Couldn't sleep at night. Even the smallest noise had me chasing shadows. It drove me crazy. So I joined the circus. At least that way, moving from place to place was part of the job. My whole life I've been up against the chief prosecutor and the warden of a prison. No regular person could hope to stand up to people like that. From the time I was a child, I had nobody. But they weren't even the worst of it. The body double was behind it all, controlling everything. He may have been a fake, but he was the president of an entire country. What hope did I have? There was only one person I could turn to, Connus, the man who saved my life. He wasn't like Bronco. He really did want to help me. That's quite a claim. Strange to think of our famously ruthless assassin winning the admiration of the child he saved. He showed me how to stop being a victim, to stop being hunted, and become a hunter myself, and they all become my prey. but I doubt even you imagine that the body double would ever go so far as to co-opt our country's police. No, I sure didn't. And as long as Winter was around, no evidence was ever going to stand. He nearly managed to ruin things this morning. Lagarde almost got away with it again. But I know him now like the back of my hand. I could see exactly how it was going to go down. So we saw right through their plan. Simeon was one of the few Ace Attorney victims to win. Even if he still ends up in prison, he achieves everything he tried to. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty thoroughly executed this so far. How Chairman Winter would try to suppress the evidence in Warden Lagarde's trial. I see. And that's why you kidnapped Sean, correct? You wanted to force a guilty verdict regardless of the presence of evidence or the rule of law. Maybe I did, but how else was I going to make them pay for what happened 12 years ago? Whatever helps you sleep at night. But Winter pulled one last surprise, didn't he? He tried to kidnap Sean himself in the hope of influencing the verdict. Oh man, it's a pile-up of kidnapping plots. In other words, you chose the exact same course of action as the man you so fervently hate. That's only if I'd actually kidnapped anyone at all. But I'd never do anything so wicked. Never, ever. Me? Commit a crime? No. And besides, I don't hate the three of them. If anything, I'm grateful. If they hadn't done what they did, my revenge wouldn't have been nearly as fun. So you admit it. Your motive in all of this was nothing more than revenge?
Sure, I admit it. So what? I despised every single one of them. But here is the kicker. I didn't kill anybody.
Huh?
The most you can blame me for is writing the old odd letter here and there. A quick note to Ringer to tell her about Winter, another to him so he knew about her. But the fact that they wanted to kill each other and one of them succeeded, that was all on them.
So you take no responsibility for the fact that your actions resulted in multiple murders?
Right. Same thing at Gourd Lake. People are much easier to control than animals, you know? The whole fake assassination plot? I handed that to Bronco on a plate.
That was part of his plan too?
Wow, this really is everything.
So Rook's murder was...
No, that was all Bronco's idea. Nothing to do with me at all. Still, it moved things in the right direction, wouldn't you say? Isn't fate a crazy thing?
Can't talk like that about a murder.
Setting Lagarde up was easy too. I just made it seem like Knight and Canis were in contact with each other. And slipped the chisel inside the chess set.
So it was you who put it in there?
Yes, it was! I thought that might point everybody nicely in Canis' direction. Worked out pretty well, even if I do say so myself. Who knew that would be all it took to make that awful woman murder poor Bronco? I guess she got to where she just saw enemies everywhere she looked. I know the feeling. Even the smallest thing can send your paranoia into overdrive. And then, things get ugly quickly. I had a front row seat for the whole show! You were the last piece to be put in play, of course.
Who? Me?
You saw both cases and finally brought down Winter and Lagarde. I guess you could say your powers of deduction were the weapon that put an end to them both.
I didn't solve those cases for your sake.
Sure, you didn't know you were doing me a favor. You just were playing a game at being an attorney for a little while, right?
What did you say?
All I had to do was cower and say no a few times, and you rode to my rescue like the hero you are.
No. Was getting arrested part of your plan too?
No, that wasn't something I expected, I have to admit. I never thought they'd take the chisel for the murder weapon. That was a real plot twist. Made my blood run cold for sure. But then who should come through with the turnabout to end all turnabouts? The greatest legal mind of his generation, my knight in shining armor. I bet it felt pretty good saving me like that, huh? You ought to thank me, you know? I don't do that for many people.
You're wrong. He wasn't playing at being an attorney.
He was trying to help you because helping people is what Mr. Edgeworth does. He helped me,
right when I needed it most.
Okay.
Aw, did he? You're sure he wasn't just trying on his dear departed daddy's shoes for size? No, that's not what he was doing. Come on, K-Meister, don't let this clown get you down. He's projecting, plain and simple. Painting other folks with his own grubby brush. It's not just that he doesn't trust other people. The poor kid doesn't even understand the concept. Doing something for somebody else's sake? Forget about it. He'll never understand. You think I care what you have to say about me? Consider this for a second. I've gotten my revenge on everybody I set out to get it from. And yet... Whoa! You can't prove I incited anything. Think about it. I never actually did anything. What's my crime exactly? Explain it to me. You think you can put an incitement charge on me? Read my letters. I don't mention murder anywhere. If I did, maybe you'd have a case. Maybe you could say I encouraged them. But it's the same story as always, I'm afraid. You can't prove I did anything at all. That's not true. You kidnapped me. Sorry, but did I miss the part where you proved that? All I ever admitted to was sending letters. You... Letters which didn't threaten, coerce, or encourage anybody to do anything. I just passed on what you might call pertinent information. Gah. He's a slippery one, I'll give him that. There's gotta be something we can do. What about this? Excitement stuff he's talking about. Your crime is being related to the circus case. The verdict is guilty. The sentence is death. That's right! Yes! You are extremely guilty! Incitement, K. It means to encourage or direct another person to commit a crime. In the eyes of the law, it's seen as equivalent to committing the crime itself. So then we just need to prove that he told them to do it? You say that like it's going to be easy. Guess maybe you're not so big on due process after all. You think you can make me carry the can for murders I had nothing to do with? Think again. I don't even have to talk to you if I don't want to. In fact, why am I still talking to you?
I can think of one reason. The tent is surrounded. There's nowhere left to run.
Really? You don't think I planned my escape too? What if, just to pluck an idea out of nowhere, I'd trained all of these vicious wild beasts to attack on command, for example? All I'd have to do is say the word, then sidle off stage in the chaos.
What? You wouldn't!
I'm just spitballing, but you'd pay to see that, wouldn't you? I could just as easily take Sean hostage with the gun I may or may not have in my pocket. Yeah. You know what? That would make for a killer show!
You will do no such thing.
It's hard to know what lengths he might actually be prepared to go to. But knowing what we know about him already, we have to be prepared for the worst. Fine, I'll humor you. But once the curtain goes up on this little performance, it better be a lively one. Bore me, and we're done here. Alright, let's see if you can keep me entertained, shall we? Ugh. He's not gonna give me an inch. But there must be something we can do. We can't let his crimes go unpunished. You can't prove I incited anything. Got it. Think about it. I never actually did anything. So... Am I able to press? Is this isn't like Mo Curls again, is it? Where I'm gonna get... I guess we'll try. You encouraged others to commit murder, and those murders were duly committed. And if I can prove it, you will be punished just as if you had done the deed yourself. Yeah. What was the word for it again? I forgot already. Incitement, K. Chairman Winner, Warden Lagarde, and Bronco Knight. All were criminals in their own right, and all committed unforgivable acts. But all were induced to commit those acts by somebody behind the scenes. This man right here. Oh, oh, You really don't hold back, do you, Miles? But it doesn't change anything. Think you can pin an incitement charge on me? Let's see. I don't mention murder anywhere. You're too exciting. You're guilty. Nowhere at all? What? You didn't look? I can give you a minute if you like. He's clearly confident that I won't find anything. He must have planned those letters down to the last word. Look, I don't want to teach you how to do your job, but if you can't prove I encouraged them to commit the murders, your incitement charge goes up in smoke. Too bad, so sad, huh, Miles? If I did, maybe you'd have a case. Maybe you could say I encouraged them. Okay. I know for a fact that you made those murders happen. Yeah, there's something I need to tell you. Truth is, I was the one who made Big Bad Chairman Winter kill Little Miss Rosie Ringer. What? You told me yourself. Did I? And you can prove it? If you can't, this ends here. Just ask yourself, could this sweet, innocent boy have done the things you're saying? No, 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 no! Ugh, I hate to admit it, but he's right. Without proof, we have nowhere to go with this. Except Tabby Lloyd, a.k.a. Nicole Swift, recorded that conversation. I remember that. If we could prove what he said on the phone call. But it's the same story as always, I'm afraid. You can't prove I did anything. But Miss Lloyd's tape. A recording of signals that were intercepted from the bug that was planted in Kay's pin. She recorded it. I'm afraid you're wrong. I have proof that you meant for at least one murder to happen. Because you said so yourself. Yeah, there's something I need to tell you. Truth is, I was the one who made Big Bad Chairman Winter kill Little Miss Rosie Ringer. What? It was the exact same cutscene we just saw. I said that? Weird. I don't remember. I know you think you can worm your way out of everything, but this time you're wrong. I am. Yes, because our conversation was being recorded by somebody intercepting the signal from the very listening device you planted. It was?
You got your conversation with the clown here on tape? That's what you're trying to tell us?
No!
Longzee says. A schemer's schemes will swallow him in the end. Miss Lloyd, could you play us the tape, please?
You bet I can! Got it! It was this part right here. Mr. Edgeworth, that's Judge Gavel's cell phone.
Who is this?
You're the one who abducted Kay. I can't hear Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry. Oh, I wondered, that was so weird that he put it on speakerphone. I thought that was a weird detail, but now we know why. It was right around here. I was just as surprised as... And... Huh? That's weird. Is something wrong, Miss Lloyd? I'll say. Seems we maybe didn't quite catch the next part on tape.
What?
Why? How could it not be on there? Aw, poor babies. You think I'd leave myself wide open like that? Well, think again. There's something a little special about that bug, you see. It can be turned on and off remotely. What? I never knew they make those.
Remote control bugs? Sure they exist, but...
So you switched it off to avoid being recorded? Bingo!
But how? You would have had to know you were being recorded in the first place.
And I did. Of course I did. It was so obvious that someone was eavesdropping. And that's because... Miss Lloyd, was it? You knew about the kid prosecutor's kidnapping without any prompting.
No. You heard that whole conversation?
I did indeed, old pal. But I must say, I thought you would have figured it all out much sooner. Aren't you supposed to be a genius prosecutor? Now, where were we again? Oh yeah, at the part where if you couldn't prove incitement, it was game over. Ah, well.
Ugh.
Oh, shucks. So my tape ain't gonna be of no use to nobody after all? Come on, I must have recorded something you can use.
If only that were true.
Hey, Kate Meister. Yeah? The old bugaroo was hidden in your pin that whole time, right? That shake anything loose from the old brain tree? I don't know. Give me a sec to think.
You're the only one who's been directly in contact with him before.
So sad. Relying on flawed evidence. Desperately trying to make it stick. Well, that's quite enough of that for now. Next topic, please. Huh? He's trying to steer us away from our current line of inquiry? Only one who's been indirectly in contact. Kay had a one-to-one encounter with him only recently. What if the sound from that point in time had been recorded?
Miss Lloyd, how long were you recording the intercepts from the bug for?
Started about, let's see now, 2 nights back?
In which case, during which time frame would we be likely to find Mr. Saint's voice on that tape?
2 nights ago, right? Because, last night was... Yeah, I mean, this has moved fast. 2 nights ago was when Kay was attacked at Gourd Lake. So it would have been 2 nights ago, because last night is when we did the whole previous case. So yeah, last night. Mr. Saint abducted Kay and took her up to the roof of the big building 2 nights ago. What if there was a recording from around that time?
Miss Lloyd, quickly, play us any tape you have from the night before last.
Huh? Sure thing. That's the sound of the balloon.
Indeed it is. At around that time, I imagine Mr. Saint would have been transporting you in it. Which means he can't have been too far away from you, or the bug. Is there anything else on the recording, I wonder?
Bang ka-chang. Wait, that noise!
That was a gunshot!
Bzzzt.
Huh, you turned the bug off then too, it seems. Unluckily for you, you were a little late in doing so. There's no escaping it now. That gunshot ties you directly to the case.
Huh? What are you talking about? Nobody ever even mentioned a gun.
He's wrong. Somebody involved with this case discharged a firearm. I just need to remember who it was and present the piece of evidence that proves it. Which piece of evidence shows that a gun was used in an incident related to this case?
Hang on. It was something to do with, hang on, not the movie set locks. Was it... Gunshot residue detected on the right hand. Yes, flecks of yellow substance found stuck. Shot residue detected on the right hand, because they said that he likely had fired a gun in self-defense. So that was it.
It's written right here in the president's autopsy report. Traces of gunshot residue were detected on his hand.
Yeah.
And where was Kay when the gunshot was recorded? That's right. She was in the balloon being taken by you to the top of the big building. However, the roof wasn't as deserted as you needed it to be.
Yes, I was there with the president. Wait, not long after we started talking, he noticed something and told me to leave.
And if a gunshot rang out shortly after that, don't tell me you didn't hear it yourself, Mr. Saint. Not when it sounds crystal clear in this recording.
You're just going to pretend to ignore me? What else do you expect me to do when you keep spouting your weird theories?
We didn't just hear a gunshot on that tape. If you listen carefully, you can hear that the bullet hit something too. Could the president have been aiming at Mr. Saint? What would the bullet have struck?
The balloon. The balloon. Yeah. I think the president was firing at the balloon. And if he was, what we heard on that tape could have been the bullet hitting the basket. Let's take a look, shall we? Oh, there it is. A hole with a bullet stuck in it. There's a bullet hole in the bottom of the basket. I'd call that pretty conclusive proof. Lion hot air balloon data updated. Yeah! Well, Mr. Saint, how do you explain not just the sound on the tape, but the accompanying bullet hole? You see everything, don't you? It's pretty impressive, I have to admit. I doubt there's anything I could hide from you if you really wanted to find it.
Just shut up and confess, will you?
All right. No need to get cranky. Whoa, there's more. What really happened 2 nights ago. I'll admit I flew the balloon up to the roof, but when I arrived, Judge Gavel and the president were already there. That came as a surprise, I have to say. Only the president noticed me, and he made the good judge leave right away. Then he pointed his gun at me and fired. Why was he trying to shoot down the balloon? Oh, that's simple enough. When I arrived, he was just about to murder your friend the judge here. Me? Yeah, you! You told him about Sean. What did you think would happen? Why do you think he met with you in the first place? He thought you were going to expose him as an imposter.
Because she knew the truth about Sean's parentage. He was afraid.
Heh, afraid. Yeah, you could say that. The man was a total coward. His hands were shaking so much when he tried to get rid of me, he couldn't even shoot straight. So you see, I just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was an innocent bystander. What really happened 2 nights ago. Okay. Huh. I arrived. Okay. Around what time would that have been? Just after 11, I think. That's when you and your pal went up to the roof, right, Your Honor? Yes, it was.
No contradictions there, but the fact that we've confirmed the time is important nonetheless.
And because I arrived when I did... See, Judge Gavel and the president were already there. Okay. So you didn't expect to find the 2 of them there? Of course not! Why would I? But it's lucky I got there when I did. We all know what would have happened if I'd been any later. He was just about to try and kill you, Gavel. You really didn't suspect a thing? I'm afraid I did not. I had no idea. Maybe you shouldn't have blabbed him about the kid. Did you ever think of that? I was merely trying to... What kind of mother are you? You're lucky he didn't kill you and then go after the boy.
I'm your opponent here, not Judge Gavel. Now leave her alone and tell us what we need to know.
Don't worry, Your Honor. I'll take it from here. I am in your debt, Mr. Edgeworth. As is Sean. I trust that you will look after us both. And I pray that the goddess of justice will watch over us all. Your precious goddess didn't even warn you there was a balloon right behind you. Only the president noticed me, and he made the good judge leave right away. Okay. He made her leave, but why? Wasn't he planning to kill her? Oh, sure, but I'll bet he didn't want to do it in front of witnesses. Murderers don't tend to like that. She still didn't know he wasn't the real president, right? His secret was safe for the time being. And now that he knew about Sean, he could kill both of them whenever he wanted. You two got lucky when he died, huh? Why the frowns? I'd be smiling from ear to ear if I were you.
I don't think anybody will be smiling until this matter has been cleared up once and for all. So please, continue if you would.
Your wish is my command. Where were we? Oh yeah, that coward of a fake president. I guess a witness suddenly appearing in the sky must have shaken him up pretty badly, and he panicked. Then he pointed his gun at me and fired, okay? You were lucky that the bullet only struck the bottom of the basket. Yeah, I tried to get out of there the second he pulled out that gun. Couldn't have my balloon going pop. But it was a close-run thing. So you left right then and there? Of course I did. He was shooting at me. Are you saying there's a problem with that? Does that present a problem? Huh, I wonder, whenever they ask about this. Yeah, don't bring Verity into this. She is the best. She's the real saint here. There is a problem. In the end, you managed to leave Kay there up on the rooftop, which means you didn't actually leave the vicinity, did you? Oh yeah, guess I forgot to tell you the next part. After he shot at me, he escaped through the hatch to the 51st floor. I hung around a little longer to make sure the coast was clear. Then I landed on the roof. Why would you mind appending that statement to your testimony? Makes no difference to me. Okay, so, wait a minute. What's the... After he shot at me, he escaped through the hatch to the 51st floor. Okay, hang on a second. There is a problem with that. And the problem is, I don't think we even need to press, actually, because I think the problem, where is it at? Miss Hart statements. So here's the thing. If the president escaped down that hatch, Lotta Hart was there the entire night. And she did not, yeah, okay. My general thought was she said she didn't see anybody except for the Excelsius and the murder, but didn't see the president pass through. So it specifically says that. So that is our problem. You're lying to us again. I am. The president never entered the storeroom the night before last. Miss Hart testified to that fact. What? Can you believe the word of a two-bit hack over mine? I beg your gosh dang pardon? Say that about the chief again, I dare you. I'll wipe that smile right off of your stupid clown face.
So we know Hart was camped out on the 51st floor that entire evening. But if our fake president didn't escape through there, then how the heck did he get off the roof? An excellent question, and one that I hope to provide the answer to next. We know that he didn't leave via the elevator, so neither that nor the hatch are possibilities. Which leaves only one possible way of escaping that rooftop. How did the president leave the rooftop if it wasn't via the elevator or the hatch? Well, he didn't fall off the building, right? Or did he? How come he can't? Well, I didn't need to press there, because, we knew what the problem was there because of Lotta's statements. Yeah. How would he have left? So, okay, what options are there? There is... Okay, so he did not use the elevator. He did not use the hatch. He did not fall off the building. So, what is the other possibility? The other possibility, in my mind... Oh, it's the balloon. Right? The balloon would have been it. Yeah. He flew. He flew? Yes. In Mr. Saint's balloon. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Quit fooling around, will you? Why in the world would I give that guy a lift in my balloon? There was a security camera on the elevator, and Miss Hart was on the 51st floor the whole time. There's no other way he could have left that rooftop. He's even got the honest laugh down, too. You know what the circus is all about? Making the audience think you're in danger, giving them a thrill. But it's time to bring this act to an end. I'm not in danger here, even if you think I am. What do you mean? Watch and learn. Miss Hart, can I ask you something? You were keeping guard on the 51st floor the whole time, right? Never even blinking for a moment?
You bet your big toe I was. I done said as much in my testimony. So the noise, the sound of Miles' faithful assistant falling through the hatch, that didn't scare you so badly that you fainted? So maybe I would have mentioned this before, but I fell asleep for a few winks after that. Oh, this is rough. Well, passed out. Unconscious, you might say.
What? What happened? That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart.
It was the sound of Kay crash landing onto the storeroom floor. Well, so what if I did? Ain't a girl in the world get caught unaware sometimes. Sorry, Miles. That's what you get for putting your faith in these people. Yeah, I think it was due to Lotta being out, asleep at least.
It doesn't matter. Kay can't have fallen down the hatch until after the president left the roof.
Are you sure about that? Allow me to offer a little counter theory. The coward, fake president, fired his gun at me. Then he hid in the shadows until after your friend fell down that hatch. What? So what if I did? What would that mean? Come now, surely even you can see what I'm insinuating here. It's elementary. If the president hid until after Miss Hart fainted, he could have passed right through the 51st floor undetected.
No! And there we have it.
Your little theory about the secret storeroom falls apart.
No! Did he have to do that to me in my own voice?
That's right. Oh, and another thing. I might have let Sean's identity slip to our pal, the president, while I was hiding in the shadows. That's why he went to the set to try and murder him the next day, only to wind up being killed himself. That's right. It was Sean who murdered the body double.
What possible reason could the boy have for doing so?
Oh, a pretty good one. He already knew he was the president's son.
And how did he discover that exactly?
Because I told him. In one of my trademark letters.
What?
He's lying. Oh, you bet I am.
Huh?
Or am I? Maybe I did tell him. Maybe I didn't. Well, Shawnee boy, which is it? It was my fault the Torosaurus head fell off that roof. I admitted that much already. But I didn't find out about my dad until today. I swear.
Yeah, don't beat up on Sean, the poor little fella.
Well. I knew about the falling head thanks to the bug. But who knew it was you who made it fall? And the president died from being crushed, was it? All right, well, that's confirmed at least. You were the murderer. Congrats on getting your revenge. That ties everything up pretty neatly, wouldn't you say? Although I guess you'd say something more like...
And so the pieces fall into place at last.
Well, counter my unassailable logic if you can.
Okay. The murder of the so-called president. All right.
You know my MO by now, right? I'm a kinds of hands-off guy, so I just like to pull a few strings here and there. That was the case with Bronco, with Chairman Winter. So what makes you think I'd let that fake president set foot on my balloon? Besides, I thought he was crushed to death by that model monster head. And who said old Torosaurus is not gonna fall in, huh? It all makes perfect sense. That's how our imposter wound up dead. No doubt about it. And what was the motive behind the murder? The little truth I shared, just like I said. Get it? The truth? That thing you're so fond of? That's what caused the murder here. Not me.
That's not possible.
Well, is there a detective in the house? Somebody arrest that boy! Can't help noticing nobody rushing to slap on the handcuffs. What's the matter?
Curse you!
Just as I thought. Admit it. You're all the same. You, Winner, that idiot phony president. You want the real culprit to go free so you can railroad me into a jail cell, don't you? That's the justice you all claim to love so much. You only love it when you can twist it to suit your needs. No, that's not true. Ha, well, if you're not gonna make the move, guess I'll have to step outside and speak to an officer myself. Once I tell them the kid here is a murderer, maybe then they'll finally do something.
We're not done with your testimony yet, Mr. Saint.
How did I know you'd make some excuse for stalling even longer? But you still don't have any proof, do you? Or any chance of winning this? Tell me I'm wrong. And yet you still want to prolong the agony? Well, as long as you know what you're doing... Oh boy.
He's not holding back.
What? Did you forget that little Shawnee's life is on the line, too? Hey, Mauserino. Take a deep breath for me, would you?
Why would I do that, Fender?
Because it's times like these you need to kick back, take stock, and be grateful for what you have. The worst of times are when lawyers calmly show our biggest smiles. Remember? The way in which the president made his escape is what you and Laughing Boy can't agree on. So how about this for a little thought experiment? What if it's not about whether the big guy in the purple jacket got on that balloon or not, but rather under what conditions would Simeon have been cool with letting him get on board?
A turnabout in thinking.
Oh. Forgive the interruption, just my 2 cents worth. Or your old man's, I guess I should say. A turnabout? You don't even say. Oh my gosh. Maybe Gregory's techniques can still prove useful in this crazy modern era.
He's right. Under what circumstances could the body double have been allowed on that balloon? He was a physically imposing man, and what's more, he was carrying a gun. Could he have been drugged? No. There were no traces of sedatives found during his autopsy. In which case... surely not. He was already dead.
Are you about ready to continue, Miles? And don't forget, this is what we're playing for.
Ugh, this is going to be tricky. But I have to tear his testimony down one statement at a time.
Alright, the murderer of the so-called president. Hands-off kind of guy. The strings in question being those of Sean and the president's body double in this case. You seem pretty confident of your abilities in that particular arena. Is that so weird? I'm an animal trainer, remember? And what's the wildest animal of them all? That's right, humans. Didn't take much to get those two dancing to my tune. A little truth here, a little hint of revenge there. Somebody ought to thank me. I did this world a favor. Mr. Edgeworth, he's scaring me.
Don't let him get under your skin, Kay. We have to stay strong. This man sowed the seeds of another's revenge in order to achieve his own. It's our duty to stop him, and we will succeed in that duty.
Why do people do bad things, huh? Don't they realize it'll just come back to bite them in the end?
That was the case with Bronco, with Chairman Winner. And so you insist that you had no direct involvement in any of what occurred.
What can I say? I don't like to get my hands dirty. Sure do love to watch the action unfold, though. All those idiots desperately trying to kill one another, and they don't even know I lit the fuse. I love it.
Ha! You haven't changed. All you did 12 years ago was watch, too.
You're talking about the whole SS5 thing. Ah, stop it. Your poor papa. Scrambling around for answers and finding nothing. Shucks. What do they call that again? Oh, yeah. Rank incompetence.
How dare you! Agent Long, please. You don't know the half of it. You damn clown! Your father may not have closed out the case, not publicly anyway. But it was thanks to his work that we're standing here right now.
Sorry to butt in, Miles, but your little pep talk isn't going to magically solve this case. Now I know you have your theories. So what makes you think I'd let that fake president set foot on my balloon? Yeah. but it's the only way he could have gotten down from the roof of that building. Alright, let's game this one out, shall we? Suppose I took him down to the ground, like you said. What's wrong with doing that?
So you admit it. You did take him on your balloon.
You're really obsessing over this one little detail. This isn't like you, Miles. How do you think it went down? He held me at gunpoint and said, "Show me the city at night?" That's ridiculous, and you know it is. Or did you really fail to think this through?
You said yourself you gave him Sean's identity. Surely that was enough to win him over.
Win him over? The man who shot at me? No. Then you must have put him to sleep and carried him away like you did with me. Very well. Let us suppose that to be true for a second. Did the autopsy show the presence of sedatives?
It's no good. He's just not giving us an opening.
Anyway, never mind all that. There are way more interesting things I'd rather talk about. Besides, I thought he was crushed to death by that model monster head. Alright. Actually, I have some doubts about that. I mean, if the president really was killed by the Torosaurus head. Don't tell me you're throwing your own pet theory in the trash, Mr. Genius Prosecutor. Aren't you the one who went to all that trouble to prove the man squished by head hypothesis was true?
That may have been my theory at one point. But that was when we thought the head was the only thing that could have crushed him.
Oh, the lion hot air balloon. Yeah, you're right.
That could have crushed him.
Why the past tense? That's still your theory, no? It's not like you have anything else right now. The president's body double was crushed under the falling Torosaurus head. Fact!
No. There must be something. Some other piece of evidence that could link this man to the president's death by crushing.
Don't you think it's time you gave up, Miles? I don't like watching you struggle like this. We all know who did it. The model head is practically screaming his name. Alright, I'm not gonna fall in, Wait, crushed to death by that model monster head. Hang on. This is I'm a little nervous because this is like half of the whole thing. Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be the lion balloon. Is there anything on the bottom that would indicate? No, I guess not. They're just the gunshot. Alright. Let's present it. Alright. Sean didn't kill the president. The president was crushed by a monster. What? Did you really just say that? You? Oh, I get it. He's the kid who can communicate with giant beasts, right? Did he use his special powers? The only person in communion with monsters was you. Sorry, but you must have mixed me up with somebody else. No monster pals here, I'm afraid.
Huh. Why the false modesty? You're very close with at least one such creature. In fact, you can make this particular monster do exactly as you command.
Oh yeah, we did do the bullet earlier.
It was you who killed the president, Mr. Saint, and I can prove it.
But what?
You're talking about the lion balloon?
Yes, a quivering mockery of a monster filled with hot air, but a monster nonetheless. Not entirely unlike Mr. Saint himself. Sorry, you lost me. What are you trying to say exactly?
You seemed very keen to stick to your story about having manipulated Sean and the president. But no matter how true you may have wanted it to be, that was nothing more than a desperate lie. Even the most skilled animal tamer can't make the dead do his bidding. And the president was dead long before he left the roof, having been killed by your balloon.
Oop!
I get it. That thing may look lighter than air, but it weighs a few 100 pounds, right? When the president attacked you from the roof, you had to think quickly in order to protect yourself. The method you chose? Landing the balloon right on top of him.
You didn't need to let him ride on that balloon, and he didn't need to coerce you into taking him, because what you took away was his dead body. Wait a minute now, Miles. If what you're saying is true, the president would have been killed 2 nights ago, which would mean the time of death recorded in the autopsy was wrong. Ah, but where did we find Sean? In a refrigeration unit. It would. Wow, you're really losing your touch. Look again. It's written right there. Time of death, April 5th at approximately 11 p.m. Clear as day. Ugh. April 5th? That was yesterday. Which means... Exactly. It means he died when the Torosaurus head fell off of that roof. All right, Sean. It's time to be honest with us all. You know what's the right thing to do. You killed your daddy, didn't you? You hated him, didn't you? I get it. Who wouldn't? He just left you. What kind of father would do that? No, that's not what happened. I already told you. I didn't know who he was until today. Oh, but you did know, because I told you myself. Gah. Can my theory really have been so wide off the mark? I want to thank you once again, Miles. You hounded Winner and Lagarde until their crimes were finally exposed. And by ruining them both, you helped me get my revenge. Gotta love those powers of deduction. If the time of death matched up, everything else would fit. So, could he possibly have cheated the time of death somehow? Oh, and what was the other guy's name again? Carmelo Gusto? You even ran him down for me. That was some great work you did there. Of course, Gusto. The IS-7 incident. He killed Frost and froze his body in order to conceal it. Mr. Gusto needed to freeze Mr. Frost's body in order to obscure the time of death. If they determined that the murder occurred during afternoon tea, he would have been an obvious suspect. Yeah, bingo! Oh, they're doing the same laugh, I see. I only wish I could have been there to see his downfall, too. How can you say that? He was your father. It's so scary. Miss Lagarde just keeps asking about what happened that day. Where are you, Dad? When are you coming to get me? Please. I need you to come take me away. Is it because I broke my promise? Because I didn't show up in time to help you taste your work? He was no father. He left me all on my own. What kind of person would do that? We may have shared the same blood, but that's it. Father, what a joke! You may not want to hear this, Mr. Saint, but you share more than blood. Hate him all you like, but you're more like your father than you know. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Fate can be strange sometimes, but this was no coincidence. You and your father were the same, even in the methods you chose. You deliberately threw off the time of death, just as he did. That's right! We had to rescue him from a warehouse refrigeration unit down by the harbor! A refrigeration unit in a depot? I threw off the time of death? And how did I do that exactly? By hiding the president's body in a very specific place. You hid the body right here. The Sunshine Depot. You needed to keep the body cool somewhere, and you also needed somewhere to keep Sean. Who knew that the two were connected? You're talking about the kidnapping again? Why are we bringing that up now? Because much as you may wish we had forgotten, we know that you kept Sean in a refrigeration unit. The same refrigeration unit in which you kept the president's body. I like the blue version of the president there. Just as your father froze the body he was trying to conceal 18 years ago. What? You're saying I'm the same as him? Same as the animal who abandoned me? A sad irony, but an undeniable truth nonetheless. Shut up! I'm nothing like him. I could never be like him. He's nothing to do with me, and we're nothing alike. Sorry, kiddo, but I think it's pretty clear that you and old Gusto have more than a little in common. You even told us you didn't like sweet stuff way back when we first met, right? If that's not a product of your daddy issues, I don't know what is. You don't understand. You may have tried to disown your father, but he lives on in everything you do. You think the same way. And you're every bit as prepared as he was to sacrifice others in order to protect yourself. Your crimes were even exposed in the same manner. You couldn't be more similar. Yes, I appreciate the help, thank you. Definitely. Hey. What? Or should I say... Oh, was that a fake-out breakdown? I don't know anything about a refrigeration unit. And the kidnapping? Nothing to do with me. Nonsense. You did it so you could blackmail Judge Gavelle. We know for a fact you were involved. You're a real danger to be around, you know that, Miles? What aren't you going to accuse me of? But it changes nothing. You still don't have any proof of incitement, of kidnapping, of anything. Oh, wait. Or are you planning on maybe fabricating some? Taking a leaf out of the old Winner playbook?
Yeah, never. I would never do that.
I can't let myself rise to the provocation. What was the line? No matter what happens, we must find the truth? Something like that? But only when the truth suits you, huh? That's how the law keeps people down, isn't it? And why? I had to get my revenge myself. I got away with it. I got away with it all. Lagarde, Winner, and now you. None of you can touch me. This is bad, Mr. Edgeworth. Isn't there anything we can do? Everything points to this man being our culprit. But we need evidence. Even just one piece. Alright, it's been fun. But it's time we brought this little show to an end, don't you think? Stick around for the main event, though, won't you? I'll even let you in for free, if you'll finally admit defeat. Who was that? Yeah, who is it this time? What? Gumshoe?
Sorry to keep you waiting, sir.
Gummy, where have you been?
I've been doing my job, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me.
And Detective Gumshoe, do you have anything to report?
I had them look into a few things real quick, sir, about the refrigeration unit where the kid was kept. It was registered to the Berry Big Circus, just like you said. Ha ha! And there it is, just in the nick of time.
Excellent work, Detective. Well, Mr. Saint? Must be some kind of mistake. Why would a circus need a refrigeration unit? A valid question, I suppose, but we're no experts on the circus trade. Perhaps we could ask your department manager for her thoughts on the matter. Well, Miss Berry? Do we hire a unit to store all the food for the animals? But I don't know where it is. I'll leave all that to Simeon. He's so good at that kind of thing. You fool! Simeon, you're scaring me. Such a shame, but rushing to find a solution after the fact so often leads to mistakes. You knew that if the body was found in the unit, the suspicion would fall on you. So you panicked and moved to the grounds of the big building instead. Yeah! But you weren't counting on Sean being found in the unit when you kidnapped him. If only you'd known you were up against a great thief and an even greater detective. Oh! Praise from Edgeworth. Is everything all right? You're looking a little pale. Yeah! Don't think you've won just yet, Miles. You're missing proof for the most important part of your little theory. I am? Perhaps you could enlighten us? You don't have any evidence that I crushed the presidential faker with that balloon, and I know you don't, because there isn't any.
I'm afraid there is.
What?
If Mr. Saint murdered the victim as we think he did, there should be traces of your misdeed on this piece of evidence.
Wait. Remember, he was crushed, and what was it he had? Hang on. Flecks of yellow substance found stuck on clothing identified as lion lily pollen, right? So the bouquet of the lion lilies is indeed the thing that should be there. There we go. So it should be actually on the lion hot air balloon. Analysis of the balloon basket should turn up the evidence we need. The balloon again? You already have your bullet hole. What else do you expect to find? We expect to find plenty, actually. Isn't that right, Mr. Edgeworth? If there's truth to be found, then he'll find it. He's a hero of justice.
He sure is! We'll find something for sure! Mr. Edgeworth has gotten out way tighter spots than this one.
What they said. We believe in you, Miles Areno. And so does your pop. He's looking down on you right now. I know he is. Just stay calm and see this through to the end, Miles. Edgeworth. A perfect victory is only moments away. The president's body double was killed by the balloon. Traces of a certain substance will prove that. And you, Simeon Saint, will pay for your crimes at last.
I'm looking forward to this. Time to wrap up the mysteries of past and present, once and for all.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, deal the final blow to this unforgivably wicked man.
This last piece of evidence will prove your guilt beyond a doubt.
What should we expect to find in the balloon if it was used to crush the president? The lion lilies he was holding. When Sean found the president's body, he also found a bouquet of lion lilies.
Lion lilies, symbol of the connection between parent and child. A popular flower back in Jingfa.
That's your proof? A bunch of flowers that will be rotting at the dump by now? A bunch of flowers that Sean threw away? So much for your beautiful symbol of parental connection. Yeah, that's got nothing to do with any of this. Ignore him, Sean. You threw those flowers away, that much is true. But the bond they represented remains as strong as it ever was. The president held on to them until the last, an act which provided us with our final piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about? The flowers Sean disposed of had been squashed flat. They must have been crushed by the balloon. If we examine the basket for traces of lion lily pollen, what do you think we might find? No, you don't need to do that. You looked over the basket just now. Anyway, if there was pollen stuck to it, you would have seen it. Those flowers are bright yellow. Not all evidence is visible to the naked eye, Mr. Saint. Huh?
Emma!
Yeah? I'd like to call on your scientific skills once again, if you don't mind. Leave it to me! Alright, let's take a look at this balloon basket, shall we? Ah, I've got something. Bright yellow pollen, just like you said. It's from the same flowers. It shouldn't take more than another quick test to prove it. What?
And there we have it. You murdered the president. And this murder you carried out yourself.
No, how could this? No!
You crushed the president with that balloon.
Then you loaded his body into the basket and took him to the refrigeration unit.
But why? Why go to the trouble of removing the body?
Because he knew another incident was scheduled to occur that same evening. Oh, Rosie Ringer's murder.
Exactly. If he'd left the body there, it would have been interfered with his other plans. I get it. And he couldn't leave the body in the refrigeration unit for too long either, right?
Indeed not. so while returning to the big building to drop the body off again the following night. He must have observed the fire Sean caused and the Torosaurus head falling as a result. And that's what gave you the idea, wasn't it? To frame Sean for the murder. Yeah! You made it seem as if the falling head was what killed him, so that my son would take the blame. Despicable coward. In order to achieve your aim, you lowered the president's body from the balloon to the lot below. And while he was dangling from the rope you used, he was caught on Sean's rehearsal tape. No! How did you see through it all? How? You manipulated people and you manipulated this case, just as you manipulate animals on the stage. You thought you were all powerful, but your reign is at an end. The animals look like they're mad with you, Simon. Even Money and Asia. They thought you were their friend, but you're not. They're sad and mad all at the same time. Stop it! Stop looking at me like that! Perhaps they will when you finally stop clowning around. You're not cut out for comedy. Your tale is destined to end with a whimper. Hey, don't get away from me! Get away from me! Leave me alone! Dad, where are you? I'm so scared. I don't know what you're talking about. I've done nothing wrong, nothing. I'm not the bad one, they are. Why, Bronco? Why'd you stop me from going to see my dad? If only none of them did what they did, I wouldn't have had to... I couldn't trust the police. I couldn't trust anybody. I was all alone with nobody to help me. But that man, he helped me. Giannis was the only one who ever helped me. So if I used people, I had to. Is that so wrong? No! Leave me alone! Leave me alone! Ow! That hurts! Stop it! You... No! What? No! No! He's getting beaten up by all the animals. It seems the game is up at last, says a voice. Oh no. The killer. Mr. Edgeworth, may I be the first to congratulate you. You have unmasked the person behind this entire sorry affair. Now I am free to... No! Guns are so clumsy, don't you find? I don't have a gun. Please. Not only are you carrying one, you were just about to draw it. You must have stolen it from the president after murdering him. This gentleman betrayed a bond of trust. He knew the so-called president was an imposter, and yet he employed me to kill him nonetheless. There is nothing more dangerous for an assassin than to be lied about the nature of one's target. If one does not know what cards one's opponent is holding, one can be very unpleasantly surprised. Yeah. But that was not your true crime. No. Thinking you could deceive me, manipulate me, that is the crime for which you are about to pay. No! Oh. You!
It's been a while, the killer.
Step aside, Canis. That man is my target.
I would politely ask that you call off this particular job.
Assassin versus assassin. This is amazing. I love it.
He'll pay for his crimes, but in prison, not at the end of your blade.
And if I refuse?
Let us just say that I might not take the loss of one life that I ever saved too well.
You save a life? Buddy Hamaganis, the blind butcher himself?
Preposterous, I know. But yes, I who have taken so many lives, once chose to preserve one, that of an innocent young pup. and he, in his turn, saved mine. Something of a bond formed between us. Laugh all you like. I know I would. But I would respectfully request that you spare him. As one professional to another, I ask that you let this particular target live.
Very well. The boy must mean a lot to you.
Thank you. I am in your debt.
You need not thank me. I simply see little point in the two of us killing one another. Now then, I bid you all good day.
No, get back here!
Oh, his sunglasses went on all of a sudden.
You have my thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. This young pup needed to be shown the error of his ways, and you have done just that. All right. I suppose we better be getting back. Our ironclad enclosure awaits. Doesn't it, Helmet? Yes, it does. Oh, hello.
You killed my dad, didn't you, old man?
I will not lie. I did. My victims deserve to be remembered at the very least. But I sense a great hatred for me from you, horned pup. In that case...
Sean, no!
You must not falter, little one. Here. You may use my knife. Take it and cut my throat. One sure slice is all it takes. I was growing rather tired of carving my little statues anyway.
I want revenge. I want it so badly. Sean, don't do it! Please, Sean, I beg of you. At least I did until just now. I would have done anything to make you pay, no matter how long it took. Oh, but you should make those who have wronged you pay. It'll make you feel so good. Trust me. All the pain, all the suffering, it all goes away. It drowns it all out, numbs it. Maybe it does. And listening to you, I thought maybe that's what I wanted.
Sean!
But it's not about me. Say I get my revenge. How does that help anybody else? If I become a murderer, my mom suffers 10 times more than I ever would. And so would all the people I work with. They're counting on me, and they worry about me.
Thoughtful words indeed, little one.
Yeah? Well, I get it now. I won't ever forgive you. But I shouldn't be the one who gets to punish you. That's what these guys are for. My mom, the prosecutor, people like that. Sean. Wow, you may be young, Sean, but you're way wiser than I'll ever be. You could at least consider trying to better yourself, okay?
Very well. Then I suppose we'll be on our way. With me, young pup.
On our way? To where?
Where else? To the prison. Our home.
Our home? And with that, the case came to an end. A case that had dragged so many people into its orbit. But as for me, there was one last thing I had to do. Getting his job back? April 8th, 2:54 p.m., Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. Chamber. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Edgeworth. What's the big idea, big guy? Want to tell us what we're doing here? Mr. Edgeworth, your request has been processed and approved. Huh? Your what now? I've asked for my prosecutor's badge to be reinstated. Your badge? What is the meaning of this? I am returning it. From this day forth, I am a prosecutor no longer. I still can't believe you did that for me. A certain man once said that to be an attorney is to be a defendant's most trusted ally, and that by believing in your client, the truth will make itself known. That man's image has been forever burned into my memory, as strongly as the vision of my father fighting in the courtroom. Good old Gregory. But that's his and my father's path. Mine lies elsewhere. See, that's why I think the original subtitle of Prosecutor's Path made more sense to me than Prosecutor's Gambit, but whatever. Mr. Edgeworth. My path is that of the prosecutor. It always was. Well, then I guess that's that. I'm sorry. No, I dig it. And besides, I can tell by that look in your eyes that your mind's made up. It is. Alright then. Looks like our work together is diddly done. Just don't come crying to old Eddie if you change your mind. This club's now closed to new members. I understand. Hey, Mouster. Here to tell me why, at least? How come you're so dead set on popping the old prosecutor's hat back on? You once asked me something, Fender. Are you gonna keep fighting crime as a prosecutor, or help people as an attorney? Something tells me you've got a big decision ahead of you. Only one you can answer. You've been a help, thank you, I appreciate it. I've been thinking about that question ever since, about how I mean to live my life. And now that this case is over, I think I finally know the answer. I'm going to help people as a prosecutor. But can't you also do that as an attorney? Look at it this way. Simeon Saint was also a victim of sorts. He lost his only parent all those years ago, and with him his ability to believe in a just world. I know how that feels. To lose somebody so important to you. To lose faith in everything. To doubt everything and be utterly alone. Fight and fight and fight. All that I can hope to do is get every defendant declared guilty, so I make that my policy. But I was lucky. Somebody was kind enough to save me from myself. Oh, we don't get to see him? Aw, man. Mr. Saint had nobody. He had no faith in the law. He felt that seeking revenge himself was the only option. But I don't even you imagine that the body double would ever go so far as to co-opt our country's police. No, I sure didn't. And as long as Winter was around, no evidence was ever going to stand. He even nearly managed to ruin things this morning. The guard almost got away with it again. I want to help people like him. And how do you plan to do that? If he had been able to rely upon the law, none of this would have happened. Chairman Winter made a mockery of justice, and in doing so, drove Mr. Saint away from seeking it. The law is only as good as its practitioners. It can be a shield that keeps the people safe from harm, or a sword wielded to wound them. Just one among many of the law's great contradictions. You can say that again. Yep, it's what we folks in the trade like to call a legal contradiction. The law is far from perfect. But one cannot solely solve such contradictions in the law without engaging with it. I don't think an attorney could have saved Mr. Saint, but a prosecutor, a custodian of the law. I think perhaps they could have. I plan to take up my badge again and confront those contradictions at every turn. Very Malzerino. I like it. You know, it won't be easy breezy though, right? Fighting the law itself, that's lawyering on hard mode. I understand that, but somebody has to do it. Oh, I don't doubt that. And if it has to be anybody, it should be you. Laws are like people, I guess. They both gotta grow and change. Adapt or perish, am I right? You're gonna smash this. I just know it. After all, You're Gregory's boy through and through. And if there's one thing that man did not know how to do, it's give up. Eyes on the prize and straight on till sunset. That was his motto. You know what? I saw that same determination on your face the second you mentioned taking up prosecutorial again. You know what's really grown and changed? I hate to be a great cheeseball, but you only wish your dad was here to see it. He'd be proud as all get out. Fender, thank you. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, if you're ready to begin, we can get the ceremony underway. Please. By the power vested in me by the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, I, Verity Gavel, do hereby, in the sight of the Almighty Goddess, reinstate Miles Edgeworth as a servant of the law. The prosecutor's badge is back. All right, you're a prosecutor again. Best news I've heard all week, sir. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, I got a scoot. Your pops is gonna want to know whether his kid just signed up for the opposition a second time. Thank you again, Fender, for everything. Don't thank me yet. Next time you see me, it could be across the courtroom. And this face is a whole lot less roguishly charming when it's not on your side of the aisle. I would relish the opportunity to face an attorney trained by my father. I hope that day comes very soon. Alrighty, Fender out. Welcome back into the fold, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Thank you, Judge Gavel. I owe you more than I can say. You do. You strove to right the wrongs of the committee from the inside. That must have been a lonely battle indeed. Not at all. I was never truly alone. That's right! You had the Goddess of Justice on your side. Thank you for teaching me that it's possible to fight in such a way. The contradictions within the committee are like those within the legal system itself. If we aren't able to overcome them, the real truth will forever evade us. I have to thank you for teaching me that, and for setting me on this path. I hereby swear to confront the contradictions that afflict the law, and to overcome them. And I thank you for your commitment to that cause, as does the Almighty Goddess. I truly believe that such efforts are necessary in order for the law to grow and improve. I will look forward to seeing you in the courtroom again soon. As will I. You did not see the best of me when I last oversaw a trial. The next time will be different. I will show you what it means to serve justice with true impartiality. Judge Gavel, I don't mean to call your motivation into question. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? But to my mind, the ideal judge is not wholly impartial. The ideal judge is human. And he's got a big beard, and he's very foolish. Even in the courtroom, they laugh, they cry, they rage, they smile. And then when all is said and done, they pass down a judgment based on that very humanity. I'm not sure exactly how to put this, but perfection isn't always the loftiest of ideals, and it's certainly not the only thing to strive for. Forgive me. This is my opinion, nothing more. You are right, of course. There are other ways. I thank you for sharing your insights. Mr. Edgeworth, there was another reason I was never truly alone during my long struggle against Chairman Winter. Someone else was with me. Someone other than the goddess. Of course, Sean! This clipping gave me more courage than words can express. Simply having it near me gave me hope. No matter how hard things get, no matter how formidable one's opponent, when we feel that we are not alone, we can keep going no matter how hard the road ahead. Mistakes have been made, but we must fix them. For Sean's sake, more than anyone's. Like the mistakes made in the incident in which his father died. So you see, there is something more important, even to me, than the words of the goddess. Though it may anger her to hear me say such things. So that was your secret weapon all along. the strength of your bond with your son. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps I should not strive for an unachievable perfection. But I must grow. As a servant of the law and as a mother, that I believe above all else.
I see. It seems we both have plenty still to learn.
Indeed, we are neither of us perfect yet. Let us continue along our chosen paths and continue to grow as we tread them until we meet again. I will look forward to that day. May the goddess watch over you as you embark upon the next step of your journey. I lost the title of prosecutor, but now I've regained it, and in doing so, I've seen a new way forward. Oh my, this is moving too fast. No matter how hard it might be, no matter what obstacles might arise, woe betide anybody who stands in my way, whoever they may be, whatever they might say. I will lift up my voice and shout, yeah! Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, this is it. This is it. So, Chief, what kind of scoop we looking to land ourselves next, huh? Did I teach you nothing, knucklehead? We're journalists, dang it! Leads are our stock and trade. Our bread and butter. You don't just hand that stuff over, not even to your danged apprentice. Sorry, Chief. Guess I still got a whole bunch to learn, huh? Well, all right then. Better go track down some leads my own self. That's the spirit. You go get 'em, champ. Before you mosey on down the way, mind sharing what kind of leads them there leads might be? Huh? But, Chief, you... Come on now, I'm pretty much your editor, ain't I? Can't hold out on the boss. Oh, come on, Chief, that's cold. Nice. Oh. Is he still bleeding? My arm wound has yet to fully heal, even now. The bodyguard who inflicted it was a skillful practitioner indeed. I shan't be forgetting him in a hurry. But never mind that now. Time to return to the life of a simple ice cream seller, although I have been thinking that perhaps crepes would be more my speed. Well, no rush. I'm sure there'll be time to ponder the matter before my next job comes in. You want to know if I'm still planning on becoming an animal stylist? Sure. I'm still studying every single day. Still up to my elbows in mud, but I guess it suits me better than being a newspaper salesman. I plan to make it my new career when I finally get out of here. What's that? Is my release a few more years away now because I helped Warden Lagarde? Oh, there goes the toupee. Why do you think I'm being so nice to these stupid freaking animals? I don't care about the freaking license. I just want to get out of here. Why me? I was so shocked when I learned what Simeon had been up to this whole time. I trusted him. I was his boss. Still, can't sit around being sad forever, I guess. The show must go on. We can't let the magic department and the ventriloquy department get the better of us. We'll light up that stage and blow away the competition, and all those awful memories with it. I kind of wish Max had shown up this game. That would have been kind of fun.
I must have gotten soft in my old age, haven't I, boy? Yes, I have. 18 years ago, I saved a life and the troublesome child is still keeping me busy to this day. And now here we are, back in a cage. Well, we'll have company soon at least, won't we, boy? Yes, our friend the pup. Things certainly won't be dull with him around. No, they won't.
Yeah, weird ending for the bad guy of the game to get kind of a lot of good stuff out of it. Oh.
What dessert shall we eat? Chocolate cake, sticky and sweet.
Oh, so soft, fluffy, and light. You'll be dreaming of it tonight.
I'll always be waiting for you, Judy, and I'll come visit you every day, just like you and Eddie did when I was in here.
You have so much to thank him and Mr. Edgeworth for. Most of all, the fact that I get to eat your delicious desserts again, Samson.
And just you. They gave me permission to keep providing sweets. I guess spreading the gospel of candy making for all these years is finally paying off.
Yeah, the Ace Attorney journey is over. That I've been doing for like 2 years now. 2.5. Oh, hello, sweeties. Fancy seeing you here. I owe you a great big thank you, you know. And dear old Greggy Pegbag, too, of course. After all, it's thanks to all of you that I can eat Semi Poodle sweets again. I'll even thinking of making a lovely medicine out of them. I'm going to call it Snacker's Delight. It makes your stomach so small you can only eat snacks. So you can get skinny as a tent peg, and I love every minute. I'm going to make a fortune. Okay. Man, I've met so many beautiful people now, and drawn so many beautiful sketches. Lulu isn't the biggest fan of my new work, though. She took one look at my sketchbook and hit me over the head with it. Bam! Just like that. And, then she left. Guess that's one less beautiful person in my life now. So I've got a big decision ahead of me. Do I follow my art or follow my heart? By heart, I mean new girlfriend. You got that right. Oh. Badster, the Badnator. Seriously, though, thanks for the assist today, good buddy.
You want me to talk about IS-7? I'll talk all day. Sounds like that Edgeworth kid is doing good work.
Yeah, Malzarino chose a different path from his old man in the end. Path that means we can't work together. That won't stop me looking in on him from time to time.
You've come pretty far yourself.
Holy macaroni! A compliment from Big Bad Detective Bad? Am I dreaming? Well, flattery will get you everywhere, old pal. If you ever need a little Fender magic, just say the word. So, Bad helped out. Also, he's not in jail? I mean, I'm happy about that, but... Looks like they'll be letting me off a little easier than I thought for what I did. I guess because I told them I was kind of forced to do it. Ouch! Ain't no such thing as easy when it comes to crime, dang fool child. Sorry, Grandma. I still feel awful about it, of course. But I'm just so glad to get to stay out here with you. What's that? You think we should be getting back to work? I guess you're right. Can't keep the dead waiting. Science saves the day again, huh? Good thing I happen to be around, right? Even if I do have to jump right back on a plane again and go back to Europe. All this flying around is gonna get tiring. Still, it's all part of becoming a first-class forensic investigator. Guess I'd better get going. Oh, but if you ever need me, just say the word, okay? I'll come running. You know I will. The greater one's father, the greater the pressure to be great. But Eustace Winner, was it? He has chosen his own path now, and he will be tested. just as I was. Miles Edgeworth chose to live as a prosecutor over how his own father lived. That, too, is a valid answer to the question we've all had to wrestle with.
My father hid a secret, bore a burden I could only have imagined. I thought only of my family name. He thought of so much more. He thought of our entire nation. I mean, to carry on that legacy, to fulfill his greatest wish. Even if our president was an imposter. Even if the real president is long dead. Even if it takes all my effort and all my men's efforts. Zheng Fa will rise again. I can't wait for you to see it.
Gotta make Zheng Fa great again. I gave up on the whole the winner thing. Told everybody to stop calling me that. Because I didn't win. My dad did it all for me. I'm gonna start again from scratch. I won't let what he did ruin everything. And pretty soon, I'll be better than him. And better than Edgeworth. So watch out. Now, first order of business, get a new nickname. I want him to come back too, for sure, in a future game. Well, it was eventful to say the least, but we got it done, and the movie's going down great. I think the murder stories in the gossip magazines might have helped. Big bad man emerges from Big Bad Bull. Revealed. True face of monster behind Zheng Fa president murder plot. Huh? Wait. This is a picture of you, Mr. Powers. What? Why? Hey, it's not so bad. After all, it'll make people come and see the movie, right? Yeah, I guess. I very much enjoyed the movie, Sean. It's nothing. It wasn't even a big part. The boy who befriended both Torosaurus and Gordy, they don't come any bigger than that. And it was a role you were born to play. You think? Well, it would be cool to be in the sequel, I guess. And I kind of like acting. Hey, can we pick something up before we head back? I wanted to get some lion lilies for my dad. Of course. And I will buy some too, for Amelie. April 8th, 4:17 p.m. Prosecutor's building. High Prosecutor's office.
Phew, it's been a busy few days, huh, sir?
Unbelievably so. How did so many important cases all come along at once? There's never a dull moment when I'm around. Guess I'm just lucky that way.
Wait, so all that stuff happened because of you?
No, Gummy. How could you say that? And yet, I don't think the good detective is entirely wrong. Well, okay. What now? Will you be returning to your thieving practice? Yeah, good question.
What? You're not sure?
How can I put this? I guess I feel like I've been trying to follow in my father's footsteps this whole time, you know? Trying to become a great thief just like he was? The Yatagarasu. Or a Yatagarasu, at least. But watching how this all panned out for you, Mr. Edgeworth, it got me thinking that maybe I need to get out from under his shadow and live my own life, too. Just like how you decided not to do the whole attorney thing. It's time to make our own fate. She's right. After all, nothing thrives in the shade. I'm gonna be my own hero. That sounds like an admirable plan indeed. I won't be giving up the name, though. Can't not be the Yatagarasu, right?
Whatever name you pick, you'll always be K to us, K? And you'll always be a hero.
Aw, thanks, Gummy. You'll always be my Gummy, too.
You bet I will, and I'll be doing my detective thing just as hard as always. So I'll be counting on you, sir.
Yes, And I'll be counting on you too, Detective. Just as I've been counting on you these last few days. You've helped us out too many times to mention. I think your next salary review may come as a pleasant surprise.
Huh? Huh? Wait, you mean...
What's the matter? I'm saying I'll see to it that you get paid a little more, Detective.
You will? This is unbelievable, sir!
No way! Go, Gummy!
It's like a dream come true. I can finally leave the instant noodle life behind.
But don't think I'll be letting you rest on your laurels. Your work will be getting any easier. I hope you understand that.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir. I'll give you everything I got. Just you wait and see.
Fender and Judge Gavell set me on a new path in life. A path on which I will face down every contradiction that the law has to present. A path at whose end lies the ultimate truth. But can I really do this? I'll need to give it some serious thought. It certainly won't be easy, nonetheless. Mr. Edgeworth, there is another reason I was never truly alone during my long struggle against Chairman Winter. Someone else was with me. Someone other than the goddess. Of course, Sean! This clipping gave me more courage than words can express. Simply having it near gave me hope. When we feel that we are not alone, we can keep going no matter how hard the road ahead. So that was your secret weapon all along. The strength of your bond with your son. The strength of my bonds. Oh, I almost forgot!
What? What is it?
I was trying to find other members for my Yatagarasu team, right? I do vaguely remember something about that. I never even found a single one. We were going to be unstoppable in our quest to steal the truth. So much for that little pipe dream.
You're kidding, right? You already have a team. A team that can solve any case the world cares to throw at it.
Huh? Yeah, I guess I do. The prosecutor, the detective, and the great thief. Between the three of us, we can hunt down the truth, put it in handcuffs, and steal it once and for all. I can't help feeling a little sorry for the truth in that case.
As long as the three of us stick together, we got nothing to fear, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Indeed, nothing at all. My father followed his own path right to the end. And now I follow a path of my own making too. But not alone. I have some colorful companions to help me. And as long as they're beside me, it's a new path and a new me. And I'll be walking it as a prosecutor, not an attorney. My father's path and mine are different. But they're not as separate as they may seem. Though the routes differ, the destination is the same. Because, of course, both end at the truth. And there we go. The end! Turnabout for the Ages has been completed. And there we go. It starts all the way back in Edgeworth's office. Well, wow. The journey I began at the end of 2022 has completed. I have actually recorded the entire Ace Attorney franchise as it exists now. And we're going to have to come up with some new stuff to play. So I'm going to be mulling that over. And we are going to be back next Saturday with a new series, probably. So we'll have to see what we do. I appreciate everybody coming. I appreciate all the new subscribers we have. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to those in the chat right now. And we did have a good run indeed. I agree. So see you guys next time, next Saturday, same time, with something new. So, all right. See you guys later.